Good numbing. Hello YouTube, hope you're all doing well. It's been a hot minute, but we're back with session 8 of the Caligula Effect 2. Last time we left off, we managed to take back our school from the slightly crazy lady. And today, after the bug infestation took over, we were in the hospital trying to hunt down Doktor, and presumably his special patients that we've heard about. However, what we've got to also deal with is that Marie's not in our party anymore. At least for the time being. So for the effort of trying to keep on top of things, I am going to be using my backup party, because I need to get their friendship ranks up anyway. So Nico... Oh, Jesus. Nico's going to be a little behind on everyone, but she's got a box of happiness to get the experience boost for now, but obviously there's going to be a few make-dos here. But I digress. Last time we head off, we got at least to the lobby, and we've got a few things to pick up and do, so let's go do them. Actually, we should get into a fight first, so get back into the rhythm. It has been a while. Oh, Jesus, you go! And the other one's doing an unavoidable, right? Let me check. Yeah, you're okay. Well, not unavoidable, but unchallengeable. Oh God. I want Love Tap to hit first before you start doing your sky bullshit. There we go. What was that about? I saw that and kicked someone's head down. Just prioritize putting this one down. You gonna do it again? No, he's gonna call for backup. Ooh. Why? Just do that. Everyone just stack up on that one. That should be enough. Yes. Oh, I just realized our newcomer is a little on the struggling side right now. It's almost like she's like half the level of everyone else. Ooh, okay. But we gotta do it. It's the only way we're gonna get through this. Yeah, the fights for a while are going to be a little longer. Ripper's Resonance. Ooh. Just because we don't have a more, like, kitted team. But once we do... sure. Right, what did you get? Ripper's Resonance? The heck does that mean? Oh, it's a support. Attack and accuracy. Oh, that would be good for Cabano. Do we have Sunfleckled whilst we're here? I mean, the gang can wait. I think we have Sunfleckled. Yes, we do. Oh, I'm not going to remember that Marie has it on. Uh-oh. I'll just have to like go through Marie's equipment when we get her back.
Huh? A visitor for me? Yeah, usually Ryu's the only one who comes to play with me.
Sorry, hang on. It's going to turn on my headset just a smidge.
Are you one of his friends?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes us friends too. Me and Ryu live by each other, so we've known each other since I was little. I like having a whole nother extra brother. Nothing happened to Ryu, right? He hasn't been here in a while, so...
No.
Ah, that's a relief.
What's there to worry about?
Well, you are Ryu's friend, so I guess I can tell you. My brother, Toya, he started up a new gang lately. Apparently, they've been doing all kinds of bad things. New gang? She doesn't mean what I think she means, does she? I think they call themselves, the Jerks. But the thing is, Toya used to be a member of the Hustlers. He was best friends with Ryu too.
Why'd he leave?
Well, he just started acting up one day. After that, he and Ryu kept fighting and fighting until he was forced to leave. Since then, he's been avoiding Ryu, and even me. He's not even the one who told me any of this. My friend just happened to bring it up the last time we talked. Her brother's also in the Hustlers. As for the Jerks, something I hear about them's good. They pick fights, threaten people for their money, all the things Toya wasn't allowed to do as a hustler. He used to be different, you know, kind cool. But now he's changed, it's all probably all because of me. I hope he and Ryu don't end up fighting again. I'm worried about them.
And there's the other thing we can do here. Well, maybe. Let's check. Manhunt. Oh god, I don't... Do I have Manhunt? Revolution, Guerrilla, Solidarity, Pacification, Divine Grace, Glove Slap. Forward and back, and then forward and back, and then one step forward. Sandal Scoop, Tabulation, Confidence, Vitality, Wingman, Girl Talk. There's Manhunt, Private Eye. So I've got to take that off of Sasara. Alright, what you got to say? And then we'll actually continue our dungeon.
The pain.
The pain. Oh, the pain. Oh, good thing I managed to get a prescription. And so I hope you're doing one man, hope you're doing well. Manhunt activated. Hey, I hear you're hunting a man.
Eh? Kanako asked you to come find me.
Oh, shoot. I totally forgot to let him know. My stomach's hurting so much, it slipped my mind. Some reason Twitter's messing up my Chrome. Yeah, I mean, you could probably take a wild guess why Twitter's not working properly, but it's Twitter nowadays, but it is what it is. I just took my meds though, so it should be kicking in soon. They told me it was just stress, most likely. I was pretty happy to see that, like, top of trending, or, like, this morning in the UK was just Slayer. I was like, hell yeah, everyone's excited for Slayer coming to Guilty Gear, because the trailer finally dropped for him. Been Twitter screwed it up, but now I'm stranded. And the biggest consistency that I have in... Well, the biggest consistency I have in Twitter's inconsistency is if I'm using Twitter on my phone... and my phone's on charge, Twitter doesn't work. I have no idea why it's like that. If my phone is on charge, Twitter doesn't work. If my phone is off charge, Twitter works. And it's been like that for months. New Slayer album. Oh no, sorry to burst about that one. No, Slayer is coming back to Guilty Gear and Strive, and he looks amazing. I'd love a new Slayer album, but we have to do with the Slayer man for now. Stress most likely. Probably social stress if I had to guess, over my friends, if you want to be specific. Kanako, she invited me to join Minami's group, and I jumped at the chance. They're the coolest clique around, after all the girls are cute and all the guys are hot. At first I was ecstatic that they even let me in, but now it's taking everything I have to match their energy. I was gonna say, it's taken such a toll on my health that I'm thinking of leaving the group. Maybe I'm just not cut out to be one of them. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like something worth landing yourself in hospital over. Slayer, his theme in Guilty Gear XX and Guilty Gear Rev, although it's also got like its rock and metal elements into it, they're usually a lot more jazz inspired, because Slayer, the character, his whole thing is dandyism. And that's not me, like, exaggerating anything. Like, it's literally an in-law point that he is, like, the dandy man. He is the dandiest dandy to ever dandy. That is always the word they use. He's dandy. So they always have a bit of jazz in his music. It lost me. That's a shame. I think, his theme in Rev is amazing. I mean, I like his theme in Guilty Gear XX as well. I love his Guilty Gear Korean theme, actually. That one's more like, hey, do you like gothic metal? We gave you gothic metal because he's a vampire. Like, his Guilty Gear Korean theme is just, like, crazy gothic metal for, like, 3 minutes straight. Down, 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 down. It's like, oh! Oh, just one more thing. I'm worried about Kanako, I guess. Where's that? Because I get the feeling Kanako's doing the same for me, putting up a front nose. But Slayer's got, like, one of, like, the happiest stories in Guilty Gear, and it's always funny. Because it's like, everyone else is like, they've lost things, or they've been involved in wars and all this stuff. Slayer is a vampire who found an immortal and got married to her. And so they've just been living happily in, like, retirement, vibing in their castle for all eternity, because neither of them can die. Like, it's like a complete flip of the script of, like, the usual immortal character script where, like, they always end up, like, miserable with the world. Those two are, like, the happiest motherfuckers in the world. They love each other, and it's literally lasted all eternity. Slayer and Sharon have, like, peak relationship goals. And it's, like, literally at the start of the trailer for like, Slayer and Guilty Gear Strive, the trailer starts with him showing off his outfit to Sharon and saying, what do you think? And she goes, oh, extra dandy. And then he turns to the person he's fighting and he goes, let's make this quick. I don't want to keep my wife waiting. Or this is my lovely wife waiting. And I'm just like, yes, he still has like he's a married, happy man. And I love that, and I don't know why the English dub, because it was like this in Rev as well, but obviously I say Rev, Guilty Gear Xrd, Rev was the re-release later, but in the Xrd games, when it first released it had English dub, but when it got its first like major overhaul update into Revelator, all the extra characters they added, they didn't dub them, so they just got rid of all of the English voice cast to get rid of the inconsistency. So it was only Japanese cast for the rest of like the Xrd's lifespan. In the original Xrd though, when Slayer had an English dub voice, he had like a weird like slight Sean Connery-esque accent to his voice. And hearing him in Strive, it's like his English dub still has that Sean Connery-esque like accent and vibe to his words, and I'm like, I kind of dig it. Like Slayer's a character that I've only really played or heard in Japanese, so it'll be weird hearing him in English, so I'll probably will end up swapping to Japanese, but the fact that they've given him like a Sean Connery-esque voice, I'm just like, okay. It's probably working just fine. Yeah, well, then that might also be a Google thing, then Google might be having some maintenance issue if Chrome's the only thing that's not connecting. I get a feeling, Kanako something for me, pretty fun that is. But not just with Minami and them, it's especially noticeable whenever she tries to appease her boyfriend, which is always. But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive's new character, Slayer, comes out on the 30th of May, and they have, again, confirmed that there is a Season 4, so there's going to be yet more characters and yet more songs. And that's like the real reason like, people were excited. It's like, oh, hell yeah, more songs. Especially noticed, but whenever she tries to appease her boyfriend, which is always... Oh, sorry, if you get us anything, probably you're just overthinking things. Here's your Caligula. Yeah, I genuinely, like, all of Fu Ryu's games, although they're, like, very flawed in a lot of areas, they're very, like... I guess, like, the only word I can put to say is, like, humble. Like, they know what they want to do, they know what they're trying to do, they know they don't hit it perfect, but they just kind of vibe with it anyway, and it just makes them easy for me to enjoy playing it, and I like to imagine it makes it easy also to watch, because the games always feel like they have their vibe, like they know where they are, they know what they can and can't do, and just kind of go for it. They just make the most of what they have. Alright, what was this quest? You... Love, Loss, and the Omega Nebula. Only old school 5 me. Yeah, I kind of get that. If I ever streamed a Persona game, I would probably approach streaming a Persona game similar to how I approach streaming this. Where I kind of just chat a lot and like vibe my way through it. Because there's a lot of just, you know, like grindy, running around doing side quest sort of stuff with it. Keyword if. I say that, whenever Persona 6 eventually rolls around, I will probably stream Persona 6. I have no interest in streaming Persona 3, at least anytime soon. Oh wow, that does a lot of damage. I do want to stream a NEP game, though, at some point as well, now you mention it. These games. NEP 1 is a pain in the... Not NEP 1, still I said NEP, sorry. Caligula 1 is annoying to 100% just because you have to do 2 full playthroughs and 100 side quests. And the fact that in Caligula 1 you can only accept 1 side quest at a time means that the 100 side quest thing takes a fucking lifetime. Might just for FemC. If you're gonna play a version of FemC, then your only version is the Persona 3 Portable re-release. If Persona 3 Remake not only doesn't have FemC, but they've confirmed it's seemingly never getting FemC. Which I think is a real shame. I understand why, but it's still annoying. Because essentially the reason why is development cost and resources. Because there's so many little elements and little pieces here, there, and everywhere across the entire game that would have to be rewritten and re-recorded just for an alternate play style. That it's just not worth the expense. If it wasn't something they could do at launch, it was never going to happen afterwards because it's too much extra expense for a piece of content that only a very small percentage of the fan base will come back to, because that's the nature of DLC releases. You never get everyone back for a DLC. I'm not touching reload. I will eventually. Just not yet. Not touching them. The only trouble is, like, if I play a version of Persona 3, I'm going to be spending most of those streams, I'll try not to obviously, but complaining about the fact that there's still to this day technically not a definitive version of Persona 3, because every single version of Persona 3 is missing something from another version. It's like, just why isn't there a version that has everything? Come on! Is it that hard to have a version that has animated cutscenes, the answer, and FemC? Why do I always have to pick 1 or 2 of them? You know, why do I always have to pick? Why can't I have all 3? But if I play Persona 4 Golden, I'll spend all of it comparing it to the original Persona 4's art style and complaining about how butchered the art style is in Golden compared to the original. And if I spend in Persona 5, I'll spend most of it complaining about how I don't like how most of the villains are written. The illusion of choice, yeah. I mean, if you play base Persona 3, you get animated cutscene, but no answer and no FemC. You play Festival, you get the answer and animated cutscene, but no FemC. You play Portable, you get FemC, but no answer or animated cutscene. You play Remake, you get animated cutscene, and eventually through DLC, we're going to get the answer, but still no FemC. You're like, fucking please! Is it that hard? don't get me wrong, I still love Golden, and if there's a version of Persona 4 to recommend, it's like, well, Golden literally has the most content, of course I'm going to recommend it. But there's something about the tone, the atmosphere, and even some of the voice performance, because they re-recorded a lot for Persona 4 Golden, even changing Chie's English voice actress to the one that everyone knows nowadays, because the original Persona 4 Chie voice was a lot deeper. Like, they had, like, the actress they had for her was a lot deeper and a lot more subdued, which I felt also kind of fit the tone of the original Persona 4 a bit better compared to like the really sparky steak maniac that we have in Golden. So I'm just kind of double checking everywhere I need to go. Okay, yeah, no, I need to go this way. Like, but I know, like, every Persona game's had, like, writing snafu, especially the, Persona 3, 4, 5 era. But even so, like, Persona 4 especially, I genuinely enjoyed the writing of the, especially of the original P4. And although Golden doesn't, like, attack it, in an essence, like, I think that's the easiest way to put it, it doesn't, like, attack the original 4's writing, because all the extra stuff is entirely optional. When you do engage with it, some of it gets a little too lost in the source, and I feel like it ends up hurting some of the experience in the long run. Like, I don't hate Marie the way some people do, but I do agree that that like her story arc, when you do it, kind of muddies a few elements of the original P4 unnecessarily for the sake of having an extra twist. But the thing is, the most fascinating thing about Persona 4 is when they were developing it, they went in with only two things on their mind, and it's what actually led to Persona 4 being so different. Because to go for it, Persona 3 was being developed at a point where Atlus didn't know if it was going to be the last game they made before they filed for bankruptcy. They genuinely did not know if this game was going to give them enough to keep them afloat or whether it was going to bury them. Which is why they put their whole fucking body into it. Like, Persona 3, they put their whole goddamn soul into it because they genuinely thought there's a good chance this will be the last game we make before the whole company falls apart. And it just barely managed to keep them above, and it did alright in the West to do them pretty well. So when it came to Persona 4, it's like, okay, people like Persona 3, let's just make Persona 3 but better. And that became the first, like, mindset of their development. Just make a better Persona 3. Which is not the most ideal way to progress and develop. You should try and, like, focus on making it, like, its own individual thing, not just better than the last one. But their other one was make it more approachable. And not just in terms of gameplay, in terms of, like, everything. Which is why, as a whole, Persona 4 has a much lighter story than, like, all of the Atlus games before it. Like, it still has its moments, still has its atmosphere, and still has its darker, like, stuff. But as a whole, it is an infinitely more light-hearted game than Persona 3 and, you know, Digital Devil Saga and Nocturne especially. Like, they're older games before, like, Persona 3 and 4. And it worked. Persona 4 ended up being the Persona game that did pretty damn well. And then when Golden came around, Golden was straight up the best-selling PlayStation Vita game, full stop. It was always at the top of the most-selling list. It just dominated. Which is why people were begged for, like, a console port for, like, years. Because it's like, why is, like, this re-release of Persona 4, like, only on the Vita? Damage to Civilization is Trails. Yeah, I get that. Kind of like Baruki, yeah. As to be expected. What's the plan? Knock them all out? The only thing I wish Atlus would stop doing is stop introducing a new character in their re-releases. I know why they do it, to kind of force them to add more content and expand on things like that, but there's a few too many instances where it does more harm than good. Like nowadays. Like, Persona 3's Extra Girl, a fucking Metis in Festival, or Femc in Portable. Metis is tied to what's widely considered to be the worst piece of content in the entire Persona franchise, The Answer. And everyone loves Femc, so it's like a 50-50. But Persona 4, Marie, like I said, a lot of people hate her. I don't mind her, but I get the complaints. It's just a bloke. Yeah, and that's the problem a lot of people have, is that a lot of the time, when they add the extra stuff, it doesn't feel like expanding. It feels like just tacking something on and bloating it out. Nocturne's Extra Girl, if you want to go that road, is technically Dante. SMT Strange Journey added Alex as their extra character, and Alex is super controversial. I like Alex, but she's another one where I completely get when people don't like her, because Alex's whole thing is that she comes from an alternate universe. She basically comes from the original Strange Journey, and she's dimension hopped into Redux, the re-release of Strange Journey, to directly try to stop you from getting any of the original endings of Strange Journey, because all of them are technically bad endings in the original game. And so some people are like, well, I don't really like that, because if you do the Alex stuff, then you get good endings, but that was never the point of the original Strange Journey. All of the endings of the original Strange Journey were bad for someone or somewhere in society. Every single one was pick a poison. They were deliberately unsatisfying because of the narrative. So Alex coming in and being, like, if you do her stuff, a force to get a good ending is like, but that's not the point. So I get that criticism. But on the other end of it, I really like the idea, especially if you haven't played the original Strange Journeys or have no context, of having a character show up and say, I know who you are from another dimension, I'm here to fucking kill you to stop you dooming the world. And you're like, wait, what? Like, you know, like, I'm just sitting there like, whoa, that was cool. I genuinely liked that aspect, and the fact that she was constantly hounding you throughout the game, and this optional boss that if you got on the wrong side of would murder you, because she was like 50 levels higher than you. You would never stand a chance if you fought her. You had to avoid her so much. It just added a cool extra dimension to the game. Catherine was another one that kind of like had an extra character, and I don't play Catherine full body, but that was another one that added, like, you know, another Atlas girl, so to speak. And the fact that no one really talks about, I think her name's Q. I think that no one talks about her. I think it speaks for itself. I think she was just there. But yeah, all of the Alex stuff in Strange Journey Redux is optional. You have one encounter with her early on in the game that's mandatory to introduce her as a character. Then after that, it's an optional side dungeon, and you can just not do it if you don't want to do it. You can just ignore the Wailing Womb entirely if you don't want to go in there. SMT4 also technically did it, but SMT4 did it weird because it was going to have an expanded version, and it got so big they just made it a sequel, which is why Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse exists, because Apocalypse literally is just the expansion that became a sequel. So that added a lot of extra girls in that sense, because it had just added an extra new cast. And even SMT5, Vengeance, the very first trailer they showed for Vengeance, they're introducing a new character, and I'm like, here we are again. I hope it pays off. I hope it's a good one and not another, like, here it is, just another one stacking on. X-Wing 4. The thing with Strange Journey Redux is that the entire game was redesigned in ways to make it more approachable. Because the original Strange Journey, although it's not the hardest game Atlas ever released, it is real damn hard to try and get into. Once you do, I think Strange Journey is phenomenal. I think it's one of Atlas's much better games because it's so different. You know, they didn't do anything. They didn't rest on their laurels or stick to their comfort zone at all. Strange Journey is a completely fucking different Atlas game. To such an extent, it doesn't feel like an Atlas game. Whilst Redux went out of its way to alter things to make it more approachable, and then put some things extra to the story. For the ones who's it approachable for, a new audience, I guess. To see if they can bring in a new audience, because Strange Journey, although it sold alright, didn't sell particularly brilliantly when it originally released. The only thing I genuinely... Like, there's a lot of things with Redux that changed that I understand, even if I'm not the biggest fan of. The only one I'm genuinely against is the art style change. The original Strange Journey's art style is a lot more gritty and not realistic, because it's still anime-esque, but it feels like those, like, early 90s-ish animes, where they have, like, a gruffer, like, rough around the edges art style. Whilst in Redux, it looks super clean, and I feel like... I kind of preferred the rougher, like, aesthetic that the original version had over the more cleaner side of the remake, or the re-release. I think the cleaner art style does it more of a disservice to the tone, atmosphere, and world that Strange Journey was going for. Whilst in the original, it feels like you're in this rugged group of tired, like, explorers going into this forbidden land of monsters that could kill you in a moment, but you don't know what's going to happen, to explore these condemned locations and whatnot. Like, you feel like you're in this, like, real dark, depraved world. in the original, whilst in Redux it feels like another anime adventure. You know, like, I know, that's the only way I can think to put it. And that's just me. Some people like the art style for Redux, but that's like the only thing that's like a real gripe with me. I prefer the art style of the original a lot more. Trails does it so well is that they stick to their creation, do not appeal to new audience, they keep their vision with sheer confidence. Yeah, I wish more companies do that, but at the same time, I always understand wanting to expand. I just wish, in some instances, the desire to expand wasn't so... I don't know what the right word would be, but like... no, not determined, but like so uncaring. And I know that's not the right word either, but it's probably the closest I can think of right now, where it's like... where they reach, like, they cast the net so wide, they forget about the fish at their feet. You know? It's like, yeah, I get, like, trying to get a bigger audience, because obviously you want to try and make more money, because it's just capitalism. You want to try and make more money, you want to get more of a profit in, you want to be able to budget doing more things in the future, you want to be able to get more stuff. And there's always, when you make a new thing, there's always going to be a small percentage of the original audience that won't stick. For various reasons. It could just be their life, it could be just their interest change, whatever. But at the same time, I wish it wasn't such a viciously wide, like, hey, we're trying to get a new group in. And then you just, like, where's the original gone? Someone has to make the judgment call. Yeah, I get that. Affable might be the word, yeah. No, for small percentage. The citation, I suppose, would be how in history, sequels that stick exactly to the same formula when they do them tend to sell slightly worse than they did in the previous one. They tend to have one big burst, and then if they stick to their laurels every game afterwards, they might have a steady like group. Like, say the first game sells 150,000, every sequel afterwards will probably do like 90 to 100,000. So it's still good, but it's been a dip. Like, a good example for me would be Bravely Default the Bravely Second. Bravely Default did 180,000 units in the West. Bravely Second did 110,000 units. Like, there was a healthy fucking drop. So what they do? They came away from it and did Octopath Traveler instead. And then came back to Bravely Default way later. Let's do it to Persona. Fair enough. Well, I mean, Persona was the odd one, because Persona, they kind of came off on a rocky start, because... if we want to start with Persona, I know I'm like staring at the security guard for forever, but I've started talking and I want to finish my point. But Persona started with Shin Megami Tensei If, a really weird Japanese-only spin-off that posed the question, what if the apocalypse that made Shin Megami Tensei 1's plot didn't happen? Hence why it's called If, because it's like, it's literally, what if? And Shin Megami Tensei If directly leads into a little game called Revelations, or Revelations Persona, or Persona 1. So Persona is literally a spin-off of an alternate timeline. So it already started in a weird position when it first like came out. So like Persona 1 did not sell well at all, because people were like, what's this weird little spin-off that just kind of exists, that's like a spin-off sequel to a different spin-off that only came out in Japan? You know, like, especially in the West, people just had no fucking like clue what to do with it, or like what to think about it. There was just like, what's this thing that just dropped on the PS1 a year before, you know, Final Fantasy VII dominated the world on the PS1, you know? Like, what is this thing that just is here? But Persona 2 was what got a cult following. Persona 2 was a lot better. Persona 2, like, built on its foundations, expanded on a lot of ideas, made it its own thing in a lot of ways, and was genuinely pretty solid. But Persona 2 was also screwed out of the gate, because Persona 2 was split into 2 games, and only one of them came out in the West. And it wasn't even part 1, it was part fucking 2. So you missed the whole first half of the story if you're a Western-only player, because you didn't get Innocent Sin, you only got Eternal Punishment. I was like... Atlas. I know Atlas didn't have an official Western company at that time, but what the fuck? That final boss. Yeah, I want a Persona 2 remake so bad. Just because then people could experience it. But then what did Persona do after Persona 2? Take a decade-long break, and when it came back, literally full soft reboot it. It wasn't... It was still based in schools and whatnot, but it wasn't, like, against the cults. You weren't hunting down cults like you were in Persona 2. You weren't hunting down nightmare demon factions like you were in Persona 1. Now it was like a high school double life. Now you had the calendar system. Now you had getting to know your friends. Now you had, you know, all these extra things that are now standard with Persona. They completely reinvented the formula. Yeah, I know exactly who you're referring to, and I have a pretty good idea of what they'll do, because they already did it in the PSP version, which is they put sunglasses and a hat on him and just call him the Führer instead of calling him by his name. I really hope in the remake they actually do that. Just put sunglasses and a hat on him, but make it still blatantly like 4K Hitler. Like, please, that would be so funny. Like. No, I imagine they will rewrite it and just make it like a Nazi general question mark, you know, like an unnamed like bad sort of thing. They probably won't make it as obvious in the remake, but still. Like, just get them from like the Wolfenstein games. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So yeah, they expanded it on that, and Persona 3, like I said, did pretty well, and so they just continued it in 4 because now they had a working formula. 5 was originally going to be very different. I spoke about this before. I'll be the last thing I do, because we will get back to this game that I am playing and streaming live to you all, I promise. Persona 5, everything we've learned about its original concept, the game was going to be radically fucking different from what it eventually became. Which is why when it was first announced, it was supposed to come out in 2014. Because then because that was before it underwent extreme changes and didn't come out for like another 4 years. Like 3 to 4 years. Sniper Elite. Because it was originally going to... We don't know to what extent at all, because obviously it's like super early concept and it's just stuff that's lost in translation and whatnot. But it wasn't going to be turn-based originally. It was going to be more action-y. And the story was going to be about... From at least what we could tell from the teaser, have a much more emphasis on slavery and trying to break free of your chains. So it was probably going to have a much darker tone than what we eventually got. But for reasons that we might not ever find out, both that original story and the original gameplay formula were completely thrown out the window, and they basically restarted development from scratch. And gave us the Persona 5 we got 3 or so years later. The much, much safer and back to... not completely back to tradition, but like back to turn-based styled Persona game. Like the theme idea. Yeah, that's it. The original concept from what we've heard and what we got to know from Persona 5, the game was so goddamn different from what we originally got. It makes me really curious as to what actually happened. But I don't think we'll ever get the answer to that. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever truly find out what actually happened with that and what the original plan was, how far along it was before everything changed and it got scrapped and delayed for 4 years. You know, like how it became that. Because... to me, everything we heard about it sounded interesting. Obviously, it not being turn-based would turn people off because the whole series has always been turn-based. But we don't know to what extent. Was it going to go full action? Was it going to try and be more of like a hybrid? Like, you know, like with how like the modern Trails games are like nowadays. Was it going to be, you know, like something more akin to like NEP, where like it was still kind of turn-based, but you like move around the arena and then you do your combo setups. You know what I mean? Like, we have no idea in what sense it would have been. We just know it wouldn't have been traditional turn-based. But they eventually backstepped on it and made it turn-based again. And no one knows it now. But you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what the plan was or what it was going to go. We just know that it was originally not going to be turn-based, and it was originally going to have a story about slavery and breaking free. And it just didn't. It ended up not happening. I mean, it's not too dissimilar from Persona 4. If you look at the original concept art for Persona 4, the concept art alone kind of sells a story of what the original Persona 4 storyline was going to be like before that also changed. The original Persona 4 storyline, it was still going to be like, you know, a murder mystery, like crime detective sort of thing. But like the very first piece of concept art, Persona 4, wasn't Yu Narukami living in like a house of his uncle. It was a base in a junkyard. And, like, he had, like, more homeless-esque clothing on him. And, like, the implication from it is that, like, you weren't going to have a house. He was literally going to be, like, a street kid. Or, like, a street teen. With no home to go back to. Trying to find out what actually happened. Which would also, like, feed into the themes of, like, you know, adults not listening to kids and things like that. Which Persona 4 does a bit here and there. Where, like, no one, like, respects the kids and whatnot. But genuinely, like Persona, like it's like both Persona 4 and Persona 5. It feels like the original concept was to go way fucking more darker and grittier and like dirtier, and then they changed and became more lighter or whatever. If one man, after the stream, if you message me reminding me, I'll try and track down some of that super old concept art so you can see what I mean for yourself, because some of it's super interesting for Persona 4. But it's like, for some reason, for like a good decade straight, like from like 2008 to 2018, I want to say, it felt like every single Atlus thing that went into development, what their original plan was versus what it eventually became, were radically different, and we have no idea what actually happened behind the scenes to lead to that. Like, we don't know if it was interference from Sega, if we don't know if it was, you know, like, infighting with Atlus about what the direction it should go. We don't know of, like, you know, we don't know anything of like what actually happened in the background, what changed, yada yada. It's just, for some reason, all of their games radically changed. This makes me suck. Anyway, let's get back to this game we're playing. So we've been staring at the security guard for like what feels like 20-30 minutes. What's the plan? Knock them all out? Doesn't seem like he's turned into a digit head. As far as I could tell, I'd rather not assault random employees. Then let's try and make our way past without being detected. Right! Watch your step, everybody. You're the one we should be watching, lady. Oh, you just knock out the guards or something? Okay, so it's our whole gimmick that we've got to actually do basic stealth. First, we come out if it helps it. She's just so tedious. I almost wish they were digit heads so we could just say screw it and take them out. Plenty of other people here haven't turned to digit head either. The staff seem to be having resistance to this song. So either he's composed his music to target specific individuals, or could he have drugged them? My biggest, like, I know I always talk about like my hopes for Persona 6, and it's pure copium in a lot of ways, but genuinely, Persona 6, other than like obviously, you know, like college age protagonists, they still want it to be like the double life that they've been doing instead of like high school age. Female protag off the rip would be like, I don't think I would excuse it anymore if it's at least not an option. I'm tired of it not being a thing. And finally, just please, for the love of God, a darker story. It doesn't need to be like the grittiest, edgiest thing in the world, but please, something that sets out to be darker and actually commits to it. Because Persona 5 starts out trying to be a little darker with, you know, the fucking sports teacher, Kamashida, and like what he's up to, but then kind of just gives up. It feels like. So I haven't played Royal to see how they do it differently, but that's how it kind of felt. It's just like, oh, where'd my dark go? I mean, it's like, obviously like Persona and SMT are always like two different things in that sense. Like SMT has always been like the super dark shit, but for me it's like I just want Persona to have a little bit more maturity. And I know that's entirely me growing out of the original age range. I am well aware that the target audience of Persona 3, 4, and 5 has always set out to be, and always will be, targeted for teenagers. Very specifically. It's why a lot of people that are in like that are significantly older or like quote unquote not in touch with their child tend to not really vibe with Persona, because it's not for you. You know, like it's very much for teenagers. But at the same time, I don't really think it would be that horrendous of an idea to just allow that audience to have something for them now they've grown up a bit. You know? You know, for the audience that were the teenage audience of Persona 5, all of them are adults now. Because it's been 7 years. You know? All of them are adults now. So why not do something that's more college age or early adulthood? You know? Why not do something that's a smidge older? Okay, Sundowner. Like that's been my take. I just think, why not do something that's for like a smidge more mature, a smidge older audience? You don't have to like completely change everything and completely change the dynamic of the entire narrative of Persona and how they handle themselves. Not at all. Just a little thing, you know? Ataraxia? I don't even know what that word is. That's a new word to me. Oh, it's with Ryuto. That's fair. Like, so I still want Persona to be Persona, and it's not a matter of like, I just want it to be darker, I want people to be murdered, and all that shit. It's more like, my favourite Persona story is still Persona 2 story. And that game, it wasn't dark, but it was definitely more mature in how it handled it, and how it handled its topics and what it wanted to talk about. Like, it committed to what it wanted to talk about unapologetically. Mature. Because like the problem with like Persona 3, 4, and 5 is that every time they have a mature topic they want to talk about, it's like a coin flip whether they commit to it or not. Sometimes they do, and you end up getting some really beautifully well-written story arcs. So other times they don't, and you're just like, well, why did you bring it up? You know? Oh yeah, Arena Ultimax is amazing. But Arena Ultimax also wasn't written by Atlas. Arena original story was written by Atlas. Arena Ultimax, they let Arc System Works go wild. Atlas trusted Arc System Works, so just gave them free reins. Seriously. Yeah, that's what I mean. 5, it does the coin flip, and it lands on tails like almost every single time. But like it introduces something interesting, but it never commits to it, and you're like, oh, come on. You know, like Kamoshida and everything he does, why do we never see, like... It doesn't have to be, like, in your face or, like, constant, but why don't we see the after effects of the victims? You know? Like, we have the things during his arc, and then once that's done, that's just the last anyone ever talks about it, and everyone else is hunky-dory. You're like, no? People would be traumatized. There would still be lingering damage. There'd be people that would say his apology isn't enough and want him dead. You know? Like, why didn't we ever go into that? Or, like, the very next person you go to is a serial art thief. What about all the careers that he stole from? Where's that going? Oh, no, wait, no, Yusuke's fine now. We're good. We're moving on. Oh, okay. Then the Mafia story arc just might as well... You could remove the Mafia story arc and just keep Makoto and nothing changes. Like, the whole Mafia story arc makes... Like, it's just like, oh, it's here, I guess. Here's your third dungeon. Exactly. A person legit jumped off the school rooftop and they just don't do anything. Like, they don't, like, follow that up as a story arc. Heck, you don't even... Like, the ultimate thing I wanted was a social link with... I forget her name. They get that girl that jumps off the school roof. Not for, like, you trying to date and all that stuff, but to have something to get to know them and, like, to have that conversation with a character as, like, someone recovering from all those things. And you don't get it. She's just an accessory to Anne's social link, and that's it. Yeah. Dang, door's locked. So we came all the way for nothing? After all the blood, sweat, and tears we've been through? We've done, like, 3 fights and, like, an hour of, like, yapping, Nico. Let's not pretend. Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing as well. Like, pussyfooting around what's ultimately kind of sensitive subjects for a lot of people, like, you know, like a character jumping off the school, like a school rooftop like that in Persona 5, could sometimes be more harmful than I think Atlas even realize. Because if it's something that's affected you, or you know someone it's affected by personally, that kind of dancing around the subject, but still, like, acknowledging it and being like, oh, hey, here's this thing, okay, moving on, it could almost make it feel like it's insignificant. And if it's something that matters to you, then that can make how you feel about it feel like it's being treated as insignificant, you know? But as Key is literally saying right now, quit your whining, so I guess I'll drop that subject for now. I'll handle this. She's gonna say open sesame, please pull a Patrick. Rah! She did. Whoa! And that's the power of my new ability, the skeleton key. Fucking shut up, Key. Bane of locks everywhere, most of them anyway. Ooh, perfect for a life of crime. Pfft, good luck getting any privacy with this one around. Got a problem, Kabado? If you want it so bad, start thanking me, maybe. Alright, you can duke it out later. Thanks, Key. Let's head in. Goodness, isn't that Marie right there? You're right, she's being carried away somewhere. Bed and everything. The VIP ward, that's what it says.
And that's our next destination, right? Should we go now? Charge right in, guns are blazing? Settle down, Nico. I checked the security system.
Oh yeah, like for me personally, I am biased because Futaba is my favourite character in Persona 5, and her dungeon is straight up my favourite dungeon in the game. I haven't played Royal's version to see what they changed, but the original P5, I adored everything about that story arc. I love the music, I love the dungeon. The only thing I wasn't too keen on is I think the boss fight at the end is kind of whatever, but everything else about it is really enjoyable for me personally. Which is a shame, because you know what dungeon is next? Do you know what dungeon is next? The fucking space sweatshop, like the worst story arc in the game by far. It starts with Morgana having a pissy fit because he got criticized once when all he's done all game is bitch at other people, especially Ryuji. And Ryuji bit back once after taking like a million fucking jabs, and Morgana decided to turn it into an entire character arc of how no one loves me, and I'm like, no, I don't. Get out of here, you stupid fucking cat. And then Haru's whole introduction arc, it's like, hi, I'm here. Oh, my dad died. Oh, whoops. Anyway, moving on, because we've got the casino arc coming up. You're like, wait, what? No, hang on a minute. We promised that we'd try and save our old man, and our old man died anyway. That should have like led to like at least some questioning from Haru towards the group. And then the sweatshop itself being such a cool aesthetic, and then such a boring dungeon with some of the worst enemies because almost all of them are resistant or immune to physical attacks in there, and you're like, why? To then have the gauntlet boss fight at the end that no one fucking likes, that apparently was made worse in Royal, and I'm like, oh great, cool, I'm so excited to get to that when I eventually play Royal then. Ryuji's just an upstart teenager. He's a sparky teenager who is trying to find his way in the world. There's a lot of problems I have with his character, and a lot of things that I think could be written better, but I understand him almost on a personal level of he's just a really excitable, upstart, sparky kid with a bit of an attitude who's trying to do his best but has no idea what his best should be, and so often gets himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and often says shit he probably shouldn't have just said. Like, he might as well walk around with a megaphone saying, hey, you ready for the Phantom Thief meeting? Like, all the time, because it's just like, no, shut up, Ryuji, shut up, this is how we get caught, this is how Makoto found us, shut up. But also, at the same time, it really pissed me off at the end of the Shido dungeon, where he seemingly sacrifices himself, barely survives, and because he barely survived, and you know whatnot, the girls beat the shit out of him. And I'm like, why? He saved all your lives, willingly putting his life on the line. Just because he didn't actually die and you'd already cried isn't his fucking fault. If anything, you should be going, oh, Ryuji, you're alive, you made it. Not beating him up. I don't get that joke. I didn't find it funny even when I first played it. I thought it was really cringy. Even when I was like 17 when I first played it, I was just like, what the fuck? No, leave him alone. The door to the VIP ward is closed. We'll need to disengage the lock before we can proceed. Can you take care of that? I can open locks as long as they're simple electronic, but that one's a heavy metal bulkhead. I think I'd budget. It's like an anime. You know what's funny though when you say that? The actual anime adaptation of Persona 5 doesn't have Ryuji getting beat the shit out of. When he like barely survives Shido thing, the girls all go like, we thought you were dead. How? Why couldn't you have at least warned us you was going to do that? And then it cuts to the next scene. They don't have him attack him or even the play to do it at all. Like the anime just went away from it. They're like, yeah, no, that was weird. And it's just like, how did the animation get it? You know, like. Like how did the anime get it? When, to be blunt, the Persona 5 anime is not good for the most part. The Persona 5 anime is kind of bad for the most part. Because it was hella rushed in a lot of areas, but still. Underground? Why would the world would they implement such a cumbersome system? Not a clue. The floor plan in this place isn't like any hospital I've ever seen. The real question is, why do they have to seal that ward off with an impenetrable door? Whenever there's an effort so secret they can't afford to let anyone in, or so dangerous that they can't let it out. Not that I care either way. Now we have to get a move on. I got a Mari to save. Because the only, like, anime adaptation that I think genuinely just hit it and was pretty enjoyable from start to finish was the first, and I have to say first Persona 4 anime adaptation. That one was genuinely really solid. I really enjoyed that. The Persona 4 Golden animation I thought was weird and didn't really sit with me. And the Persona 3 films, because it was 4 films, felt like diminishing returns to me. Like, the first one was good, but then the second one was kind of just alright. The third one was kind of a little worse, and then the fourth one I wasn't really keen on. But then the Persona 5 anime was just not good to me, with me at least. Oh, I'm not that close to you, fuck off. Mari makes me think of Marion de Courtier. I don't know who that is or what that is. Off the top of my head. But then equally, I just want to know why fucking green. And if you know, you know. Like with Persona 6, like, 'cause it's been leaked, we know this. That Persona 6 is theme color is going to be green, like a darkish, like green sort of thing. I'm just like, okay, why? Like, there's one thing I really liked about Persona 5, unapologetically, is the theme color of 5. Having a... Oh my god. Hey, that item, I better be pretty good, because look at what's defending it. 53, 52, and 55, and our highest level party member is me at 33. Uh-oh. And here's the thing, though. If it's green, is assuming, because it probably will, has another mascot character, is the mascot character going to be green? Are we going to have, like, the green ooze be our, like, buddy? Like, you've had a dog in Persona 3. You've had a teddy bear in Persona 4. Now get ready for the ooze man. He's going to ooze all over the shop. Oh, what attack are you doing? Melee or range? Range, okay. It'll be a bird in 6. I would actually be down for a bird, as long as it doesn't talk. Whatever mascot is next, please for the love of God, don't have it talk. Unless it's like a parrot, and you only have it like repeat every like dialogue every now and then, like an actual parrot, and not just like it has its own voice and personality. That I could be that one you could kind of like pull me over on. Oh, and don't have the new mascot secretly be like an extension of a shadow or a creation from a shadow, because we've had that twist twice now. Teddy's a shadow, and Morgana is like an extended creation off of a shadow, because he was born in Mementos. It's like we've had that twist twice in a row now. Let's not do it a third time, please. That's one of the iconic past lines of previous games. Yeah. Will that reach in time? Because I think the enemy's already falling. Ah, that won't reach. Okay, I'll do... I'll just Dreadnought you then. Future, now it'd be Nostalgia Monism. That'd be cool. Oh, it sounds simple and like it's maybe a little silly, but the only thing I really want for Persona 6 is for a Atlas to not feel like after Persona 5's overwhelming success, everything needs to be like Persona 5. Like, I don't want Persona 6 to just feel like Persona 5 but in green. And I don't mean like in terms of story and like and whatnot. I just mean in terms of like how it feels. Like if I'm playing it and it's like, oh, your double life involves you being like a secret cool guy on the outside, doing special missions to try and overthrow adults. I'm like, this is just Persona 5 again. You know, like I don't want them to like I guess, get too comfortable. I understand don't fix what ain't broke, but at the same time, like, don't just make it the same thing twice. The Green Parrot be the final boss, that would be funny. Alright, I need to actually pay attention. I wasn't doing stealth at all. I forgot how slow the goddamn camera turns in this game. Fuck! Yeah. These were... Well, yeah, that's one of the things I actually didn't mind, because they're teenagers. That made sense to me. It's like, hey, if you're like a bunch of 15, 16, and 17-year-olds, and you're like, hey, do you want to get to play superhero, but actually, like, your superhero-isms actually have an effect on the world? There's a whole bunch of teenagers that go, oh, hell yeah, we can do this, and we're, like, the best, and everyone else is full of shit, and all that stuff, you know? Of course you get that. Fuck them kids. Yeah, I get you. And I said, as a teenager, as someone who was the target audience, because I was like 17 or 18 when it came out, I love Persona. I loved Persona 5. Persona 5 was like the best shit ever when I played it. You know, it's like, it's only as I've got older and looked back on it, and I'm like, well, this was a bit weird, or that didn't quite work, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's as I've got older, but that's because I was the target audience, and now I'm moving away from that target audience. I still love a lot of Persona 5, and this is a huge if, because I don't know if I ever will, be honest, if I ever cover Persona 5 on stream, I would break down a lot about what I love and what I don't, because it's a lot to talk about. Right, now about these guys, I want to get that treasure chest. I don't think this team will survive, so let me just... Kabado, you won't make it, so you're not joining in. I'll take Sasara, and then I'll take the Gods Among Men, Shoda and Kiriko. Now, I like, about... And obviously I'm, like, guesstimating a little here, so you have to, like, give me a little room to breathe, because I haven't played it in years. But, like, about 85-ish% of Persona 5, I genuinely love. When I first played it, the only thing I didn't like was, the 5th dungeon. I thought the 5th dungeon was kind of weak. Everything else I loved. But as I've got, like, older, there's a few other things that I'm a bit like, that could have been better. But as a whole, I still love Persona 5. I think Persona 5, for me, is right in the middle of the whole series. In terms of, like, how much I like it. Because I prefer 4 and I prefer 2, but I prefer it over 3 and 1. And even then, I think that's kind of cheating 1, because 1 was so experimental. It'd be like, oh yes, I prefer this game over the one that was still trying to figure out what the fuck it even wanted to do. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a little, like, almost, not disingenuous, but it feels a little like, of course it's better than that, you know? Hey, that's the biggest reason why I don't like Akechi. Because Akechi also wants Shido done, but Akechi wants to do it his own way and decides that his way of dealing with it is to just kill all opposition. It's like, what? No! Have a conversation with us, man. We could help you. We might not agree with the fact that, you know, drove that train off and, like, got a bunch of people killed and all that shit, but we could at least, like, help you talk shit out. Come on. Like, that was, like, what the fuck? Like, that's one of the reasons why... Oh, he's throwing the Shido? Oh, right. Well, that's because Shido's only goal throughout the entirety of Persona 5 is destroy everyone to make it that he alone rules at the top of the world. Hence why his whole ship, this whole dungeon, is a ship where he alone survives. Because he doesn't care about anyone else. He just wants everyone else to burn so he can be at top. But that's what made him such a boring villain as well, because it's just like, oh cool, a villain that just wants to basically rule the world. Cool, great. I'm so happy this is in my Persona game that's trying to be more grounded and realistic and all this shit. Because he didn't... Everything he said he was trying to do, like when he was trying to sell his, like, campaign of us, was a lie. That's the point. Everything he was doing was light. All he ever cared about was lining his pockets and being in power. Nothing else. And it, like, literally, like, everything he says to the people is like, I will do this, I will do that. It's like, he's so full of shit. And then that's what the shit proves. Because when you go to his dungeon, the truest core of his mind, his truest self, is him alone being atop of the world whilst everything else sinks to the bottom of the ocean. He only cares about boosting himself. And that's what I said, like, for me personally, I just didn't enjoy him as a villain at all, or as a character at all, because I was just like, oh, cool. Another character that just wants to destroy the world. Brilliant, awesome. Well, rule the world. How would he get to the top of the world? What he wants in his deepest pit of his mind doesn't immediately equal what he's going to do in reality. It's just what he wanted. He needed to be stopped because he was about to become prime minister and everyone believed his bullshit. And he would have just made Japan worse because he would have only been there to serve himself. And it was also personal revenge because, you know, that guy did that damn brat, I'll sue, just because you didn't let him, like, essay a woman. That's the question. I don't have an answer for your question because it's not something that's in the topic. It's not something that's the point. The point is that his end goal is that. Whether he gets there or not, I have no idea. That's why we stop him at the door. I said the only way is that through him, in his mind, is that if he became Prime Minister of Japan, he would have the influence to do whatever he wants. He literally diplomatic immunity from his crimes and do whatever he wants beyond that. Oh, is that enemy still going to be down by the time I get to him? Oh, Jesus, there's a healer. Who's the healing one? Is it you? Someone just healed him. I don't know if this fight's winnable if they're healing. Because a lot of damage was just undone. We'll ride it out for a little longer, but... Listen, Phantom Thieves were never going to be on his side because for the main character, for Joker, it was always going to be revenge. Because, you know, the guy got a criminal record on our main character and got him watched and got him in that situation solely because he tried to stop Shido from essaying a woman. And then just went, damn brat, I'll sue! It's like, oh, fuck off. So they would, even if, for whatever reason, Shido was better written to be vaguely more agreeable, it still wouldn't have happened because it would have been vengeance. And because, you know, they're immature teenagers, so of course they're not going to think about that. Oh, what was this enemy going to do? Let me delay this for a minute. The problem is that the Phantom Thieves, it wasn't just a matter of, like, hating adults. They wanted to, to stop the system that was actively damaging their lives. Shido was the crux of the system they were trying to stop. That's the old, and I know I'm being vague in some of my points, but keep in mind the last time I played Persona 5 was 2018, so not every detail I fucking remember after all this time. But he was the epitome of the problem. He was the thing that was the reason why he needed to be stopped. Like, why they, my brain's drawing a blank. The reason why they were in the situation they were and felt they needed to do what they did. Dude, I think you're reaching that point, and it's my favourite point because it seems to be something that we hear a little too often between us, where you're taking something from real world and applying it to a piece of fiction a little too hard. In the context of Persona 5, Shido was the crux of the problem. He was the problem itself. If you apply it to real-world bureaucracy and real-world politics, yeah, I'm sure there's a million problems in it. But in the context of the story and what it's trying to tell, that was the thing they were going for. Obviously, you can have agrees and disagreements with it and whatnot. And like I said, I'm not going to pretend I remember everything. So if there's shit I'm just misremembering, then I'm sorry. It's been 20. What year is it this year? 2023. It's been 5 years since I last played Persona 5. I don't remember. 5 or 6 years. Ugh. 2024, not 2023. Jesus. You'd think I'd been adjusted to it being it there. But I dropped. Okay, no worries, dude. Is that attack? No, I don't think that's attack. Do I have a physical counter? I think I just need to move you on. Yes, you do. I haven't played in a couple of weeks, so I forgot what counters everyone has. This is where I'll stop. Yeah, that's fair. Will this... I don't think this will work. No, because their risk's at 0. Okay, no, never mind. I'll do, Mahime. Oh, what we're doing here? Oh, we last part, or last stream, we had, like, the bug infestation, get everyone sick. We went to hospital. Doktor is the person running this place, who is one of the musicians we need to stop. They've kidnapped Marie, so we need to get Marie back. That's our first priority. There's that fucking heal. Okay, so we can do damage. It's just the heal is putting a lot of extra work on us. So you see that heal's kicking a lot, but we are getting that health bar down. We just need to like tunnel in on one enemy at a time, I think. Infiltrate Japan, lol. Okay. Speaking of Dottore, I just got Arlecchino to friendship level 4 in Genshin. So I've unlocked the voice lines where she talks about like other characters, but you always get level 4. Her comments for the Sarisa and her comments on Dottore were both kind of interesting. Because with Dottore, she brings up that she's aware that the previous knave before her, like the one that she killed, any like orphan that was injured or had disabilities or for one reason or another wasn't fit for the orphanage, she gave to Dottore to be experimented on for his like evil experiments like and whatnot, which I was just like, that's just viciously evil, but okay. Arlecchino knows this, and he said at one point Dottore tried to set up a similar deal and she shut him down and said that if it wasn't for the fact that he's a harbinger, like he's a fellow harbinger, so basically a co-worker, she'd have murdered him a very long time ago. Like in her voice line, she literally says the deals he used to have with Kurumi beforehand, she said if it wasn't for the fact he's a harbinger, I would have expedited their reunion a very long time ago. And it's like, oh, she would have fucking killed him if it wasn't for the fact that she has to like work with him. Yeah, the previous one, Kurumi, the previous knave, not Arlecchino. Arlecchino genuinely like loves all her kids. But then the more interesting one with the Sarisa, you know, like the Cryo Archon and the one that all the Harbingers work for, she straight up says, if their day ever comes that they're on opposite sides, she will gladly and willingly raise her blade against the Sarisa without hesitation. It's like a lot more just implying that she's going to do her own thing later on. But she literally says that if there's ever a point where she's not on the same side with the Sarisa, she will gladly fight her, like, instantly. There's a few other Harbingers that she has interesting things to say on as well. Like, Tartaglia Child, she's actually a little bit more complimentive of, because she says, like, she finds it unfair how people judge him so much, considering he's so young. Like, she says that he's yet to really grow into himself yet, so he thinks it's a bit harsh how much people judge what he does and doesn't do now, when he's still growing. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because all the other Harbingers have nothing nice to say about him. It's like the first person to actually say something not too mean about him. What are you doing? Okay, you're going for range on the side. Yeah, Kino is Arlecchino is absolutely at some point going to either betray or for one reason or another leave the Harbingers. It's just a matter of when, I feel. Like, not if. Now, whether that previous theory of her being one of the last bosses of the game ends up being true, we'll have to wait and see. I like Chad. Yeah, I do. I like Tartag. I think he's a great rival character. Or Ajax, to use his real name. Because, like, every single Harbinger, their Harbinger name, they're renamed when they become a Harbinger to basically hide their original identity. Because, like, Arlecchino's real name is Puree, or Purore, or however you fucking pronounce it. And Child's real name is Ajax, whilst his Harbinger name is Tartaglia. What's this enemy doing? Let me delay this for a second so I can see what this is doing. British desire and battle for conflict. Yeah, he's just a warrior at heart. I respect it. The only thing is, Arlecchino's quest, and I should have, like, mentioned it at the time, but it just didn't, like, dawn on me. In his quest... Oh, did I not get that counter? Hang on. Yeah, melee. Oh, I'm doing the range counter. There's melee counter. I was doing the wrong counter. I was like, why isn't that hitting? There we go. Is, Hey, yeah. Is, during Arlecchino's quest, when we briefly bump into Child, he says that because of his injuries, like, he only came out for, like, a while, he has to go back to Snezhnaya and stay there. That, to me, is like, oh, that probably means that, Natlan's going to be the first region, and probably the only region in the game, where Child isn't present in it at all. Like, since Mondstadt. Like, we're going to have a bit of a gap until we next see Child. So Mr. Worldwide is going to be taking a break for a while. Because he was in Li Wei, because it's his central story arc. He was in not one, but 2 events in Inazuma. He was in not one, but 2 events in Sumeru, and he was very prominent in Fontaine. But the fact that now he has to go back to Snezhnaya, I'm like, okay, we'll see you later, buddy. You know, it's like, that's how that comes across. It's like, oh, okay, we're not going to see you at all in Natlan then. Which is weird, because Natlan being the nation of war, I would have thought that, like, he would have been so fucking giddy. But I guess it just wasn't on the cards for him. I imagine he would have been like an excited schoolboy, like, oh boy, Ender's fighting! Like, but I guess it wasn't on the cards for him this time. Obviously, we don't know. It could easily be like he just ignores the like what they say anyway and shows up in Natlan anyway. But we'll see. God, these enemies are still so bulky. We've got so much work to probably do. Natlan, yeah. I am excited to learning more about Natlan. We're at the point now where 4.7, when the 4.7 like showcase drops in like 4 or 5 weeks, it will very likely have a teaser for Natlan. And that thought alone is just like, oh, we're getting to that point. You know, it's starting to like Fontaine is entirely all wrapped up. We're getting to the point where it's like, what's next? Natlan divided you. I wonder why. Yeah. Well, I mean, Natlan is the only Gnosis the Cerisa doesn't have, because La Senora kicked the shit out of Venti to get Mondstadt's Gnosis. La Senora did dodgy deals and contracts behind everyone's backs to get leeways. Scaramouche was traded the Gnosis for your life. In Inazuma. Both Inazuma's and Sumeru's were dealt over to Dottore on the condition that he got rid of all his clones, and the Knave got the Gnosis by just having a deal with Neuvillette as a thanks for helping out. So the only thing left is Natlan's, because obviously Cerisa has her own Gnosis. So if they get Natlan's as well, then she has all the Nosai, and that means that she can directly challenge Celestia, which is why I think Celestia is going to be involved in like the plot later on. Like, I don't know what order we're going to go to places, because we've got Khaenri'ah, we've got the Abyss, and we've got Celestia, but I know we're going to go to all... In my opinion, I think we're going to go to all three of them. I just don't know what order. Like, I don't know which one's going to be more final area-esque than the other. Because if we go to the Abyss last, that means the final boss is likely our twin or Skirk. If we go to Celestia last, the final boss is likely either Paimon or the Unknown God. If we go to Khaenri'ah last, our final boss is likely Dainsleif. Ooh. 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 Hey. Kriko, we're gonna make it so you don't just eat shit, huh? Okay? I don't need this. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I think Khaenri'ah is the one that I don't think is going to be last. I wouldn't be surprised if we go Khaenri'ah straight after Snezhnaya. It's whether it's Celestia or Abyss, whether we keep on going further down basically into hell, or we go the opposite direction and go up into heaven. Beat any of the gods. Yeah, to be honest, I like the fact that Arlecchino is the first Harbinger that we just straight up can't beat. Like, in lore. Like, the first one that we actually lose to. Because it's like, yeah, these are some of the most powerful beings in in Teyvat. We shouldn't be winning against all of them. The fact that the fourth strongest Harbinger is infinitely more powerful than us, it's like, yeah, this feels right. It should be like this. Like, we can beat Child because he's 11th. We beat La Senora, but it was, pretty fucking close. And we weren't even the one that killed her. It was Rein Shogun. And Scaramouche, we only won because we literally, put him through Groundhog Day. We literally, infinite loops until we figured out how to beat him, because we never would have beaten him otherwise. What are they doing? You're having an ult. Oh, you're both ulting, okay. I mean, the only way the Traveler's ever going to start winning fights is by not using the goddamn dull blade in every single cutscene. Like, please, for the love of God, use any other weapon, Lumine, I'm begging you. Is that risk high enough? Oh, that misses anyway. What about this? Will this work? Nah. Ooh. Did you guys see how much that did? Hang on. Look at the health in the bottom right. We're in trouble. We're in serious trouble. We need to rethink a couple things here, because we're in trouble. Skirky breaks the dull blade. We need to be on the defensive for a second. Is that gonna work? Do I just rip a raw ult on this? What are you gonna do next? Yeah, I'm gonna rip a full an ult on him. Just because I need to. He's using his ultimate again, so I need to do something to try and interrupt him. Oh, try and seal this bitch. 96% chance of hitting. Oh yeah, you're not gonna hit that 4% and miss. It's a 4% chance of missing, right? You're not gonna miss on that. My luck's not that bad. This isn't Pokemon, where if the attack's anything less than 100% accuracy, it might as well be 0. You're gonna hit, right? Okay, good. How long's that guard last? I'm gonna super delay that in the hope that the guard ends before she goes for it. Yeah. I would, to be honest with you, I'd be super down for Skirk being the final boss. I really would. I'm also, like, in general, just super curious as, like, what's going to happen to, like, a lot of things with Genshin in terms of, like, its gameplay structure and, like, narrative structure and exploring the map post all, like, the main regions being out. You know? Like, once Snezhnaya is out, it's like, well, how are you going to handle, like, the Abyss and Celestia and, or, like, Khaenri'ah, assuming we're even going to Khaenri'ah. Oh, I just have the Soul Surge review, I think. Especially because Celestia is way above, so how's that going to look on the map? Is it just going to be a separate map and you just warp up there? So I kind of hope it's not like that. I kind of don't want it to be a separate map because I kind of want to jump off Celestia and like see how far I can fall to get back onto the like the rest of the map. Okay, you just straight up miss. Alright, what last enemy? We managed to somehow, like, get through all this bullshit. Uh-oh. Hey, melee counter, please. Melee counter. Someone. No. Fuck. Okay, you get one hit, but that's fine. I'm gonna voltage again just to try and push through. Okay, then they get up, so I'll just do Mirage then. Go. Please, we're actually kind of close to surviving this bullshit fight. Hey! I need to stop going for these super hard fights every time I see them. It's like, oh, treasure, and I just go for it. Explosive loader, pressure point strike. Spilt milk. Undertaker. Heyo. Everyone got skills. Overwhelm an enemy with a blinding flurry of consecutive slashes. Okay. Strike multiple weak points on an enemy, causing them to reel in pain and increase their cast time. Oh, so it delays their spell cast. Okay. You got explosive loader, reduce your cast time. You got spilt milk, grant yourself a defense up effect, making it harder for actions to be interrupted. Spider bolt, strike an enemy with a special bolt that increases their cast time. Everyone's getting cast time abilities. I don't think you've got anything new. Get skewered. Toss your ball and chain like a grenade for releasing a razor-sharp explosion of shrapnel. Oh, you got resurrection. Nice. And Lackadaisy Hoop, roll your track from striking enemies a straight path. If you hit a risk enemy for higher, you get still hungry. Alright, now let's swap to like the B team again so I can start working on them more. Ugh. Gotta be done. Alright, let's go. Alright, what do we get for all that bullshit? Better be good. Oh, okay. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but whatever. I've made so little progress in this dungeon, I just realized. Like, we've been streaming for an hour and a half, and I've barely made any progress. We were chatting for ages, I was on that fight for ages, like, oh god. Was all of this just to get around one encounter? It was. Well, tough, we're gonna fight him. What's you doing in the background? Oh, perfect. Keep him in the air for longer, please. So I can hit aerial blade as well. Yeah. There he is. There's that enemy with like no health. Like he's way over the fuck there. Oh, he's dead. Okay. But yeah, but speaking of Hoyoverse stuff, because also we were just talking about Genshin and whatnot, 2.2 for Star Rail is next week. So we'll get to see how Penacony's main story is going to be ending, since we know it will be ending in 2.2. What you learn? Oh, I never whoops. I never put Paradigm Shift back on. Enhances each shit. That's such a funny sentence to just read. You need all the accuracy you can get, so I'm just giving you them. Well, this is theme rules. I'm liking this theme a lot. Okay, so just this door. Hello. But I'm also super curious, like going back to Genshin, like what the music style for Natlan's going to be, because we just know so little about it. I mentioned it before, that, like, I am almost expecting, like, war drums, because, you know, the fact it's all about war and conflict and whatnot, like, a lot of, like, dun-dun, dun-dun, you know, like real banging loud drums sort of thing. But I don't know, like, it could be anything. Because, like, we've had, like, we've got a few ideas of certain musical tropes now, because, like, both the whale and Arlecchino have something slightly otherworldly about their abilities one way or another. Like, the whale is just straight up an entity from another world, from another existence, whilst Arlecchino has the Moon Queen blood in her. So both of their themes had EDM in it. So it's like we now know that, like, if it's otherworldly, EDM is going to be the common theme. But it's like, what else can we have? Like, like I said, the captain is pure human, is what makes him interesting. Other than the fact that he's voiced by Gundam Tanaka, is the fact that he's completely pure human. Or he's the most powerful harbinger, yet he has absolutely no bullshit that we know of to his abilities. He's just him. He's just that guy, you know? I'll do that a little bit more. But like, well, what's his theme gonna be? Is his theme gonna be like super like bombastic and loud? Is it gonna be like drum focused? Is it gonna be electric guitar? But they already kind of did the electric guitar with Sonoria and La Senora, so they're not probably not gonna do it again. Because the electric guitar seemed to be very much a 2.0 or 2. Era thing. When you look at all the new tracks that we got throughout the 2. Series, there's a shit ton of electric guitar tracks that came out during it. Sorry, was it okay? No worries. I was just talking about like what music to maybe expect from Natlan. Try and theorize a bit about it. Because I was saying, like, we've learnt that like EDM tracks represent it being otherworldly, which is why like the whale has like the otherworldly track in it, and why, because of the Moon Queen's blood in her, there's a little bit of EDM in Arlecchino's boss theme as well. Pseudo choir symphonies, I believe it. But I was like, but what will like the captain's theme be? Because he's probably the next harbinger we're gonna fight. Because he's number one. He's the most powerful of the harbingers, ignoring the director. He's the most powerful of the harbingers. But what's the most important thing that we know about him? He's 100% human. So I made the comparison. I made it a few times to people. It's like he's like the Jetstream Sam in the sense of like, he's in this realm of people that have all these enhancements for various reasons. Like in, you know, Metal Gear Rising, it's mechanical. In Genshin, it's magic. But he's pure fucking human. He's just this pure, like, raw power person who's also the most powerful fucking thing on the planet. Or one of the most powerful things on the planet. And I'm like, I can't wait for a fight against him. But what's his theme gonna... Rap? But what's his theme gonna be? Like, is it gonna be like war drums? I was thinking, I don't think it'll be electric guitar, because they've already done that with La Senora. And I feel like they're trying to make it so every single version of like the Harbinger theme is different from one another. Oh my god, look at that skill name. She's Mega Yeets. Oh, please tell me the description is that she just throws the enemy. Please tell me that skill is just she yeets the enemy. Hurl your chakram ahead. Okay, no, she yeets the chakram. Got it. That's actually kind of funny. Does increase damage to airborne enemies. Oh, she just has a skill called Yeet. That's hilarious. The country or rap? I'd be down for country. Oh, what's it mean for an all battle? I love that. But genuinely, this game does such a better job than most games to actually like keep on top of like I can only be described as like modern dialogue, but especially between teenagers. Like there are so many like phrases and sentences and little quips I've heard from characters, and I'm like, man, that's like super modern. You know, like yeet this bitch. Oh, she really just yanked that, like throw it miles, huh? What skill does this thing do? Oh, it throws bombs. Oh, okay, I see. It's a nightmare to me. Oh, that's interesting. The prediction got the prediction wrong about who would get hit by that attack. Because Kabado didn't get hit, and it said he would have been. Zoomer terms. I don't really see it like Zoomer terms, because most of them I use in my natural dialect, and I say that I'm 24, about to be 25, so maybe I'm just close enough to be like that sort of generation. But like a lot of it is just normal dialogue for like people around me, and we don't do it like deliberately. We don't do it like because like we're used to it. Most of the time we do it ironically, but it's just we do it all the time, so we might as well be doing it legitimately because we use it ironically so much. Because I genuinely say yeet it. I legitimately say yeet that bitch. I've said it on stream. I think the only thing, like, I don't say YOLO and I don't say swag because even when I was a kid, they were kind of like, oh god, people are saying them way too much. Like, even when I was a kid, they were kind of cringy. But that might just be generational difference. Like, the generation just older than me, that was their, like, Zoomer equivalents. But I say ayo a lot. I say yo yeet. I don't dab, but that's mostly because my neck would click every single time I'd go to, so I'm too old. That's the thing. I could make a joke about the fact that you're American and you prefer formal English when American English is anything but formal, but you know, I'm just gonna leave that in the room because it is what it is. I know what you mean. You prefer like dictionary English, essentially. You don't like new made up words and terms. I don't mind it because it is what it is. People are always going to have their own dialect and their own extensions, and most of them become so ingrained in society that you don't even realize it. Appeal to the generation. That's fair. That's each to their own. So I don't do it to appeal. I just do it. But some of it's just too built in. There's probably a whole bunch that I use unknowingly that I don't even think about. That aren't in the dictionary and they're just weird terms of my generation. But because it's been there all my life, I just assume it's part of the dictionary and don't question it. I was making a joke, dude. Don't worry about it. Oh, fuck, there's guards here. Alright, someone's... Oh, I was mostly joking anyway. How are we avoiding these guys, then? Oh. Gentleman. Oh boy. Cool head. Cast time reduced by 25%? Damn. That's pretty fucking good. Fair enough. I don't know that word. That's the theme of today. I keep on encountering words I haven't heard before. Is that kakistrophe? Kakish trocracy? In my nature, What's it mean? Assuming I haven't just like every time I learn a new word, there's a small part of me, and it's the dumbest thing, but it's just me because how many times I think everyone as a kid got at least once. No matter how naive you think you are or aren't, everyone got at least once. Where a kid would say hey, you got this, and it's a word you've never heard before, and if you say yes, it's actually a joke at your expense, and you don't want to say it. I'm always paranoid every time it's a new word that if I say it out loud, I'm gonna get got, and someone's gonna be like, hey, here's his, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a joke at my expense. I know you wouldn't do it in that sense, but it's just me. It's just always in the back of my head. I'm like, uh-oh. Some describe a nation ruled by the worst elements of society. Oh, so like most, the most first world society then. Yeah, sure, I'll save. That's plot, so what's over here? Other than loot, I hope. Aha! Oh, potion. Well, essentially a potion. Oh, fair enough. You don't have a melee counter, and even if you did, you'll probably miss, so I'll just rather you just stick to your unavoidable. The only reason, once again, the only reason I'm using this team is the moment their friendship hits 10, I'm never using them again, because I don't like any of these party members, but I also want to experience every event in this game, so I've got to kind of commit for a while. The only one that's kind of alright is our little yeeting angel here, but even then she's super underleveled, so I've got to put a lot of work in if I want her to work. Oh yeah, fair enough. Also, friendly reminder for people, or also just to inform anyone who hasn't checked the schedule, I will be streaming this Wednesday. I know Wednesday usually take off. I will be streaming that day, but I'll be taking Thursday and Friday off. Thursday I'm taking off because it's goddamn poll day in the UK here, and I'm not up for being a part of that conversation, so I'd rather just not stream that day and be away from the whole thing, because, yeah, everyone's gonna be talking about elections and votes and shit, I'm like, that's just, I'm good, thanks. And, Friday, because, you know, I've got this week off work, I just want to go hang out with my friends. I just want to go hang out with my friends, so I will be busy that day too. So Thursday and Friday I'll be taking off. So I'll be streaming today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then afterwards I'll be back at the weekend. Also, my stream schedule is this today, this tomorrow, and then finally getting back on Final Fantasy VII on Wednesday. And then we'll do more of it on Saturday, and then finish the week with Sonic Frontiers. At least that's the plan. I know I've been very inconsistent, especially with my Sunday streams, but at least that's the plan. To make it every Sunday moving forward, do the... do more of the Sonic Frontiers Extreme playthrough. Yeah, I know, dude. It's already been set in stone. I am doing that. I'm going to go hang out with a few buddies. I still need to sort out everyone who's, like, meeting sort of thing. So I've got 2 people, but I need to know if there's, like, a 3rd and 4th are going. I would invite one of my friends, but one of them also took this week off work, and you know why? Because she's gone on holiday to fucking Egypt. And I'm like, you go, girl. You enjoy your holiday. Like, is there room for me? I'd love to go to fucking Egypt for 8 days. Bruh, that sounds like a... The last time I went on holiday out of country, I was honestly, I think, too young to remember. Why I say that, I have, like, the faintest sort of, like, nostalgic memories for it, but I was still, like, super young. I was, like, 2 or 3 years old. And I might be wrong. I want to say we went to Florida. I might be completely wrong, because even when I'm trying to remember something from 22 years ago, give or take. I only really remember a swimming pool, the hotel room being like bright white, and an outdoor bar that we went to most evenings. Where it literally was like an outdoor bar with like tables and chairs in like a garden. And like that's it. I don't remember anything else. I couldn't tell you anything. Like, I don't remember the helicopter, like, not the helicopter, the plane ride, sorry. It would have been sick if I was in a helicopter, but I don't remember the plane ride. I don't remember what was beyond those 3 images. Like, everything else was just like a blank space in my mind, I guess. What I should do, actually, I probably won't remember because my mum's currently working, but the next time my mum's free, I should ask her if she remembers exactly where we went, and I should try and see if I can find it on, like, Google Earth. I think that would be cool to do, just to see if it looks even remotely like how I remember it. But yeah, that's it. So Thursday I'll be off just to avoid the bullshit, and Friday I'll be off to hang out with buddies, and then I'll be back on Saturday. Oh Jesus! That kid dies. I don't think I've seen your ult yet. What's your ult? Assuming we don't die here. Actually, no, I won't do that because we'll lose it. What's your ult? It's a support ult, okay. Oh, we get SP restored. Okay, that's not too bad. There's something really funny about Kabato always just kicking them when they're down like that. This enemy should be dead. Yep. And it'll work out as well, because Friday's also payday for me coming up, so I can go out and hang out with friends and actually have money. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours. Oh my god, the defense boost. I remember when I was a little kid, when I first heard that song, I thought it was, it was a song. I thought it was a name, but I didn't realize it was a saying. I thought it was like someone's name, and they were telling that someone to like live their life, sort of thing. Yeah, if you can believe it, I wasn't the smartest when I was a kid, but then who was? I had a feeling, I was like, oh, there's a secret over here. I wonder if there's going to be security or something. I ran straight into him. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Who was? Am I in the clear? I think I am. The Rock? As in Boshi the Rock? Detainment? Oh god! Increases attack when receiving damage. Oh, so Berserk, okay. You know, I think it's kind of bad that my first thought went to Boshi the Rock and not Dwayne the Rock. Oh, we have to actually sneak out of here afterwards. Okay. Well, I've been that weebified. And there is a guy there. Does he ever turn around? Okay. Let's back up, guys. He has terrible vision, but he will still spot us eventually. Braggart. I was pretty average in school. I was pretty damn average in school. Like, I was like all of my grades was like mostly C's and B's. There's a couple exceptions. Oh, it keep me back here. Ugh. There's a couple exceptions. Like I got an A+ in or A* in the UK in literature. Which I still to this day I like. How I look back on it, I'm like, how did I do that? Or like my sciences, because they like in the UK you do chemistry, biology, and physics, but you get the individual grades for them, and then they're all put together for your general science grade. So, like, if you get, like, a B, C, and D, you'll average a C. That sort of idea. My chemistry, I think, was really bad. I think my chemistry was, like, a D or an E. But my physics was an A. And my biology was, like, a C. So it ended up balancing out, and I got a C in the end. That's going to get me to associate degree. Damn. Fair enough. Yeah, I was pretty happy with my, not being pretty average. I got a degree in psychology in college, and that was enough for me. I got psychology. I rushed sociology, but I still have it. I got a sociology and a world development, which is basically like the human side of geography, and that's really like dumbing it down, but that's basically what it is. And the reason why I always say about I rush is because I didn't do it on my first year. I picked it up in my second, and I did both years in 1 year. But that was because of my stubbornness. I didn't want to be in college a third year, so I did 2 years worth of course in one to get it done. So it was hella rushed. And to be honest, there's a lot of sociology I genuinely, to this day, just don't remember because of how much I rushed it. But I did get through it, and that's enough for me. That freaking kind of here. Now I was general English was B, literature was A+, maths was B. I'm pretty good with quick maths for the most part. My sciences was C, my history was C, geography was D, but D is still a pass in the UK. D is still a pass, and I think everything else like was a D as well. Actually, no. Physical education, they do pass, merit, and distinction. I got a merit. They don't do it by grades. They do it by fail, pass, merit, and distinction. I got a low merit in that one. And then in college, like I said, I did a full course of psychology and passed that barely. I got a C. Sociology was a D, and world development was a D. But they still count. They're still qualified. I'm still passed, you know? It's already... Oh no, a locked door! Do your thing, Key. Go, go, go! Go on it, skeleton key! I'm waiting for it to not work. Yahoo! You're the burglar of the century, Key. All those other phantom thieves got... Phantom thieves? We were just talking about Persona. Got nothing on you. Heck, you know it. You're really going to take that as a compliment? Doesn't seem like Marie's here either. I wonder where she could have gone. We're not getting any calls, and he's not responding to our wire chat either. This isn't good. What's in this room anyway? Smells like crap. It is a pharmaceutical storeroom. Citizen key. I mean, that like, is witty. It's the wittiest one we've had compared to her usuals. For medication? But I thought people in Ridu couldn't get sick. Not in the truest sense, but there may still be those who desire disease's symptoms or to be treated as a patient. Alternatively, there may be someone who has the need of a semblance of a hospital. Right, the doctor on call here might be a musician. This hospital might be part of his wish. Think the stuff here works? Yeah, it's like real stupid, yeah. I don't see why not. Even without the fatal diseases, they still have to be people who are injured here and there. If this hospital exists because the good doctor wished to work in one, then chances are this medicine should work as intended. Kinda weird when you think about it though, since our actual bodies are out in reality instead of here in Ridu. What's it matter either way? Let's hurry up so we can go find Mari. Agreed. The fact that we can't get in touch with her means something must have happened. We have to save her and fast. If this has the same effect as it does in reality, then this quantity is easy enough to be fatal. Hey, Ryoto, what's the hold up? Alright, I'm coming. Hey, person I still don't trust at all, Ryoto, get over here. Wait, don't tell me you know everything about medicine. I did consider becoming a physician in the future. Yeah, but even they don't cram this much stuff into your head, so why the heck do you? What do you expect me to do? My brain is a well-oiled machine. I don't decide what it retains. Bruh, Ryuto. Ah, the hell, man. You're like a fictional character. What, was your regret about not being a god-modding protag or something? No, Kabado. That's not a very nice thing to say. Minds like mine have struggles of their own, though comprehending that is likely beyond the scope of your ability. God, he's such a prick. You watch him be perfectly fine and like not be a traitor or anything of the like at the end. It's just me being an arse to him. But it's like, I'm like, this guy's gonna be the EG of this game, whereas like he's secretly actually just a complete bastard. A dead end? What the hell? Aw man, we came all this way for a wall? Actually, upon closer inspection, doesn't this shelf seem strange to you? I see what you're saying. It's placed as if something's behind it. Alright, then let's move it. Men of the Go Home Club, you're up. What? It's manual labor, so the men have to do it? Way to set gender roles back centuries. Come on, Kabado. What kind of gentleman leaves the girls to do the dirty work? That's surprisingly mature of you, Gin. Time is... Sorry, yanked out my mic by accident. I moved my controller and accidentally yanked out my mic. Sorry about that. Anyway, time is wasting. Hurry up and get to it. You're part of this too, you know. Underground lab. Oh, what in the Resident Evil? What is this place? It's like a cross between a hospital and a research facility. Evil organizations sure go hard, huh? Her Doktor's laboratory. Alright, Gin. That's what I'd call it anyway. Ooh, a nice one. Puts chills down your spine when hearing it. Alright, how about we go poke our way through this laboratory then? I'm sure Doctor won't mind. What's wrong, Gin? I think I'm beginning to get how you tick. Let me guess. This is what every guy dreams of, right? So true. This place is so awesome. I'm starting to understand you all bit by bit. Gotta say I'm proud of myself. Ginodo, my man, what's the point of having interest when you don't jive with the chicks? Well, now, Kabado, interests are supposed to be things you have for yourself. Right, every person who likes something is going to like it in a different way. That's what makes humans so interesting. Alright, now the question is, do I just go through the door ahead of me, or do I take the ladder? I'm gonna try the ladder. Oh, cool. Oh, that's a ladder here as well. Oh, is the door locked then, do you think? Is that what they think you got to take the ladder? Hang on, let's find out. Yeah, it was locked from what? It was locked one way. Okay, so that was just teaching you got to take the ladder. I bet all of these doors are going to be locked then. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, you can use the ladders to skip encounters, I see. You can jump the gap and then take that ladder down and skip them. We won't do that yet, let's look around. Okay, locked. Not interactable, okay. Locked. Okay, so the one door we took is the only way. So, to get to that, there's a door, and to get to... Okay, I can see the door. Okay, both of them we need to get up to a higher level and then find the other side of the door. And I'm assuming this is locked as well, hence why we got to go around. One of those pesky unopenable doors, if only someone could help. On it, skeleton key! Huh? What the? It didn't work? Really? Looks like the door has a pretty solid system in place. Fingerprint identification, if I had to guess. Oh, I think I've heard of that. So where you push your finger against a little sensor, right? That's the idea. Does that mean we need to have someone else open it for us? How many more stupid doors can there even be? What stupid jag-off designed this building? Forget it, take a look inside. This must be the control room. In other words, our destination. It appears to be an elevator as well. Alrighty then, let's find a way to open this door. The amount of locks. Alright, let's go through. And as we're doing this, since we were talking about like the captain and whatnot, just to kind of like, I know we're very fragmented this conversation, but I've got Genshin on the mind where I've been building Arlecchino and, you know, had that story quest on my mind a lot. I'm curious about all the other Harbingers we haven't met yet, because we've only met like 4 of them in total now. You know, we've met Child, we've met La Signora, we've met Scaramouche, and now we've had Arlecchino. There's technically, like, there's 11 members that we know of. There might be a 12th, but we're not sure yet, because there isn't a 10th member. Like, just straight up. Like, Child is the 11th member, but there isn't a 10th one. Afterwards, it goes to the 9th, which is Regreta, who is the businessman of the Harbingers. So Genshin, and I'll post the battle vid. Oh. Oh, the do you mean the? Yeah, the execution cutscene. So you can now watch it in like Super HD. Yeah, of all the Harbingers, like, Child is number 11. We still don't know who number 10 is at all. We have negative information about whether it's, like, who it is, what they do, where they stand, what they use, or anything. Ten is such a cool number to name someone. Number 9 I said is Regreta. Number 8 is La Signora. I think number 7 is the Rooster. I think. I might be misremembering the numbering up. No, it's not the Rooster. The Rooster's slightly higher, I think. I think number 7 is... the one that's like Evil Clara. I forget her name. The reason why I say Evil Clara, because the whole gimmick is that it's a crazy scientist. It's a crazy scientist girl, but she's protected by a giant robot. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, got it. So Evil Clara, because she's got a giant robot bodyguard. And I mean giant. She sits in the hand of the robot. It's that big. Like, it has its hand flat down below, and she perches on it like it's a throne. And it just moves her around everywhere. Then after that, number 6 was Scaramouche, but we know Scaramouche has been, wiped from history now, so the 6th slot is technically empty. The 5th slot, I think, is the Rooster, who is the mayor of, like, the main city of Snezhnaya. So we'll almost definitely bump into him in Snezhnaya because he's the mayor of the fucking city. Number 4 is Arlecchino. Number 3 is Columbina. Number 2 is Dottore. Number 1 is Capitano, or the captain. And then after that is the director of the Harbingers, which is Pierre, or the jester. So there's still a number of Harbingers we've yet to meet. And a number of them that probably won't be playable if I had to hazard a guess, if I'm being honest. Like, some of them will be. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Captain becomes playable because, you know, pure human. Like, there's no, like, artificial super magic. If we're a sleeper agent and we're number 10, that would be kind of wild. But I don't think that's the case because we are an outsider. I mean, it'd be a cool thing, but we're a complete outsider. I wouldn't be surprised if another outsider is number 10, and that's why we don't know him, because we are only the 4th outsider to land on Teyvat. We know one of them is our twin, and we know one of them is the unknown god, but we're still missing one. So that extra one we're missing could potentially be number 10. What in the world is this room for? What are these thingies called again? Bone picks? Skelograms? Skelograms. I like skelograms. X-rays. No, I'm sticking... I like skelograms. That's cute. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's it. Is it safe to assume it's Doktor's personal research room? More likely than not, considering the sheer volume of radiographs and medical files here. Hold on a minute. These are all from the same person. But it, like, Rooster, I don't think will be playable, because Rooster is... his height, he's too small. He's smaller than, like, the small female model. He's super diddy. Because he stands on, like, a high chair, and it will let the gameplay stuffy bit for him. I forget her name. The lady that's, like, Evil Clara. Her, I don't know about, just because the mech that she sits on is so big. If the mech she, like, was a part of was, like Svarog's height, or, like, you know, human-esque size, then I could be more like, oh yeah, you probably just play as the mech. But the fact that the mech is, like, 5 times her size, I'm like, I don't know. I said, Dottore... I don't know if Dottore would ever be playable. Columbina, I hope, is playable, just because I'm really curious how a literal angel would play. Because I said she's a half-angel. What could these patients be suffering from? I can't seem to figure it out. And then Captain, I really hope is playable. I think Captain will be playable. Oh, what's that? It's a key card. Can we get a Woo Nico? Woo Nico, nice going. That should open up a few more places for us. Let's move. Here. I mean, yeah, technically, Robin's literally about to be playable in Star Rail, and she's kind of sort of like a race of angels. It's just as I thought. She's also, I don't know if you've like heard this, but I think it's actually kind of wild, because obviously in Star Rail's world, Robin's a singer. To help lean into that, they've straight up produced a full album of Robin singing songs. Like, a couple from the game, all the rest, like, just entirely original songs that aren't even tied to the game, that they've got Robin's actress to sing. And I'm just like, that what? And it's like, it's a full album release, and it comes out in, like, on, like, the 10th of May. And I'm like, are you kidding? And it's like, yeah, no, we made a full album. I was like, what the fuck? That's such an extra work. I mean, I'm curious about the album. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm just like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Anyway, I keep on pressing the wrong button to bring up the tab. So wait, the whole supervillainous lab facility is just... is all just for that one patient we saw those x-rays? Looks that way. No, I guess there's also bare-bones databases of all the residents of Redo. But even that was only collected as referential data for the patient. It seems like he's looking for similar cases. Or for that one person. I can get that. I've been having this weird feeling lately, as if other humans aren't worth the same to me as all of you. I'd be more upset over one of you being sad than I would 100 humans I barely know. Oh, Miss Key. It's just the way I am now. I can't tell if it's good or bad, though. Kind of both, but personally speaking, I'd say I'm happy you think that now. Yeah, that feeling, Miss Key? It's one we humans sometimes call love. Aww. Yes, we got Robin. Robin is... Oh, I can't remember who... I think she's re-rolling with Topaz. And then the other half of the banner is fucking Boot Hill, the new Hunt character. I found my Infinite Wealth. Oh, spoilers for anyone who hasn't played it yet, or hasn't gone through it yet. I'll give you like 5 seconds to cover your ears. I'll make it brief so you can come back in like a couple minutes and I'll be fine. I just did the fight with Kiryu where you have to fight Majima, Seijima, and Daigo all at once, and I loved it. Easily my favorite fight so far. I fucking love that fight. It was hard as shit, and I was stuck in it for like 2 hours because I didn't grind, but I loved it. It was such a good fight. I think the justification for the fight was a bit silly, but at the same time, I was like, that fight fucking roared. I lived for it. And I love the music too. It was not what I was expecting at all. I was expecting it to be like a remix of like their themes, or like another like another Receive You mix, but no, it was like this entirely original track that had like a lot of like emotional power to it and prevalence, and I was just like, man, this bugs. Dun 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 dun. Ugh. Arakawa must be the most metal fucking Yakuza. Oh yeah, he's great. When I first saw him, I was just like, oh, who's this Mobius looking piece of, like, Morbius piece of shit? And then, like, as he went on, I was like, actually, no, he rules, he's great. I've seen him, like, some of the shit I've seen him do, I'm just like, man, this guy's actually really cool, and I hope he becomes, like, not literally the Majima character for, Ichiban, but, like, a returning character. Like, you know, I want him to be, like, not necessarily, like, a direct rival, but I hope he comes back. Done that fight on easy. Oh no, I've done the whole game at like the default difficulty it starts you on, and like that fight I was at it for like 2 hours because I didn't grind and so it got wrecked, but I committed to it instead of going back and grinding. I was like, no, I'm gonna learn this fight and do it, and it took a while, but I managed to just barely doing it. I'm talking about the guy with the long hair and the coat that always goes on about how cold he is all the time. Morbius. Oh, you're talking about, right, Arakawa. You're talking about the guy with the scar on his eye, right. Sorry, I completely got muddled on my names. My bad, I know who you're talking about now. I got completely muddled on my names. Yeah, sorry, I got muddled on my names for a minute there. I thought you was talking about the guy that I just call Morbius. Guy's always talking about being cold, yet he's actually kind of cool. And you fight him like 8 times, it feels like. I think the only real criticism I've got so far with the story, like with Infinite Wealth, also I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know how it's going to go. But like the whole thing with Hawaii and like I forget what they're called off the top of my head, like the Sunny group. It was so fucking blatant. Like the very fucking second he was on screen, I was like, oh, found the main villain. Like the split second that old dude appeared on screen, I was like, I bet he's the main villain. Like it wasn't subtle at all. There was no mystery to it. Like every single little thing you learn about them, I was just like, okay, I know where this is going. But the fact that I don't remember their name also tells you how interesting I find them. I don't find them interesting at all. Like it's the only part of the story I'm just not vibing with at all. I just don't care for that faction and that part of it. Yeah, I guess. I think it's just me being critical. Bryce. Yeah, fucking Bryce. Purple Chalice or Fatuity? Yeah, so Bryce, as soon as Bryce was on screen for a second, I was just like, oh, found the main villain. Slash an enemy before scattering the water with Fatuity, lowering from your chalice, lowering the evasion of enemies if they hit. It's a better version of Munakata from 4. It's supposed to be a poser. Yeah, I can see that. No, I think on it. I'm still going through the game, so there's some things that are just gut response, and I don't know how it's all going to end yet. I know I'm kind of close. It feels like, because on Thursday, since I'll be avoiding everything then, I plan to just grind that game out and get it finished. Obviously, I'll probably play it a little bit here and there going up to it, but I plan to get it done by then. So then when I'm back on Saturday, I can be done with it and just talk about it. But so far, about 90% of it I have really enjoyed. I don't care at all for the Animal Crossing minigame with Ichiban, where you like go out to the island and stuff. Like, I did enough of it to make it the infinite money sap that it is. I got past what was basically like the chapter 1 of it, and I haven't touched it since. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't 100% these games, because this looks boring. This is not interesting to me at all. But like everything else, I've really enjoyed. Dondonko Island, yeah, that. I did just enough of it to get the money farm out of it, sort of thing, and then I haven't touched it since. So I just have no interest. You can make much money from it, yeah, but for when you get access to it, putting in the little extra work for a while just to get it started and get some money out of it, it's nice for like the early to mid game. I found like it's just a nice steady income for like early to mid game. Oh, you know what was fucking sick? Speaking of dungeon runs, having goddamn "I'm Here" from Sonic Frontiers being something you can play on your music, going through a Yakuza dungeon and hearing Sonic music, I'm like, hell yeah. It's like, where's breakthrough at all? I'd happily be down here and just hit down, 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 down. Come on. You know you want to. I don't even bother with it. Yeah, that's fair. But so, like, it's why I'm glad I don't do 100% runs for Yakuza games, because I think trying to do Dondonko Island would drive me insane. I think that's just barely going to miss, actually. Yep. Life and Health 2 drove me insane, sadly. Oh. To be fair, as a whole, I don't find Infinite Wealth... like, obviously, like, I probably won't mess with post-game too much, so who knows. But I don't find Infinite Wealth as grindy as Like a Dragon. Like, you still, like, it's still grindy at times. Like, it does still feel like sometimes you get to, like, a new section, you're like, oh man, I need to go do a dungeon run, huh? And, like, get better equipment, because, like, you are behind. Or, like, some of the times you get the warning, and it's like, you go do a new story bit, and the warning's like, hey, all your equipment should be, like, grade 7, and I look at my stuff, and it's grade 6 across the board, and I'm like, ah, okay. But it's nowhere near as grindy, at least from my memory, as 7 was to me. You can tell Bryce opposed the moment he's on screen for the first time. I am looking forward to kicking in his ass, though. And I think, like, you've managed to do, like, the bare necessity with your villain if you make it so I'm excited to beat him up. You know his intro scene with the gun? Yes. I had to think for a second, but I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, I was just... Where are we now? This room feels quite a bit different from the others somehow. It's got a keyboard, not to mention a decent audio setup. Kind of reminds me of a music production studio. It was jammed a certain way. Oh, so because he didn't actually know how to use a gun. Because he's posing. Got it. Makes sense. I mean, this is a musician we're dealing with. I see. So music is made in rooms like these, huh? My Nico senses detect the scent of coffee. He must have just been in here. Hmm? What is it? Chalk. Cellophane tape? Sasara. Yes? This may sound a bit strange, but would you happen to have a cotton swab on hand? Guns were Bryce cons everyone into the image that he's this omnipotent being. Yeah. Seriously, Slota, can't your earwax wait till later? I do in fact want to use it, Shota. You just carry those around? Now I see. Not a bad idea, Shota. Huh? He's gone detective mode. There. Now we have a record of Doktor's fingerprints. For real? It may be a bit rough, but yes, would this be sufficient?
Should be. I'll try using it to open up the door from before.
Glad to hear it.
My compliments, Shota. I'm gonna have to rethink my opinion of you.
Man, am I glad that light bulb came on in your head. Most people wouldn't even have thought up something like that. I always thought the only ones that did stuff was on criminal investigation shows. Guns, what you'll sit there and smile knowing how the entire gimmick works. Like, I mean, I noticed, like, when the gun jammed, I was just like, okay, this guy isn't as good as he makes out to be. But I didn't realize that was, like, part of, like, the poser theming they were going for. Imagine false prophet, yeah. Oh, it's not that impressive. I'm just copying the way I've seen it done, is all.
Oh, it's just like one of those murder mystery dramas. Bravo, Shota.
Let me just press this button and read it all from the start. There it is. Bravo, Shota. No, it was a crude method at best. It wouldn't be of any use under normal circumstances.
Not to worry, if my high-tech features backing you up, it's more than good enough.
Damn you, Sota. Trying to get it good with the chicks. Anyone can see you've got no interest in them. That was not my intention. And what part of my face tells you I have no interest in girls? Yeah, that's kind of like... that's kind of prejudice, Ekabado. You're saying just he looks like he can't be straight? What the fuck does that mean?
Wait, does that mean that you do have a love life? Spill! What kind of face do you make when you're head over heels?
Perfectly normal one. I'll have you know. I fall in love just like any other person. Like 90. Oh, fair. So I am looking forward to beating his face in. And then any villain that makes me look forward to when the eventual smackdown, I'm like, okay, yeah, you got me a little then. I'm just going to unlock this door so we can circle around later, but I've not done exploring this floor yet. Can I open this door? Of course I can't. Alright, back up the ladder. And every single time we do another thing on, like, the bucket list for Kiryu, the more I'm like... And don't spoil it for me because I haven't finished it. But the more I think I would genuinely be annoyed if he doesn't die. Because it feels too much. You know? I don't know how else to put it. Like, it feels like it's too much. Like, it feels like it's like, okay, no. Everything around Kiryu's bucket list, everything like that, is everything about retiring this character and reflecting on every single little detail. Even referencing shit that isn't even, like, canon. Like, they reference Dead Souls, and he goes, oh man, I had a weird dream once. I'm like, yeah, alright. And, like, he references Kansen and references Ishin, and I'm just like, no, Kiryu kind of has to die after all this, doesn't he? Like, he kind of has to. Well, obviously, I haven't finished it, so please don't spoil it for me. But I'm just like, in the back of my head, I'm just like, there's no way. But I also get that they're trying to do this whole thing with Kiryu where Kiryu at the start of the game had basically already given up on life. He was just going through the motions. And throughout the course of the game, they're trying to give him... Oh, God. Oh, God. These enemies are level 57, 56. Uh-oh. Hang on a minute. Hang on a fucking minute. Uh-oh. This is not the team I want to be fighting these kind of fucking leveled enemies with. Uh-oh. So, like, if they're doing the whole... Like, get back to my point, though. If they're doing the whole thing with Kiryu, where it's, like, the whole purpose of the game is him trying to re-find that humanity that he's kind of just thrown away, I could kind of maybe be just, like understanding on it. If that makes sense. Like, maybe if he then survives. But at the same time, I'm also, like... They're really leaning into this bucket list shit. We're going to ignore the trophy list? I know the trophy list, dude. We've spoken about this before. The final trophy is called The Man That Reclaimed His Name, but that doesn't for a second mean that he's alive. He could reclaim his name in death. His reclaiming of the name could be written on his tombstone, as far as I know. I mean, it gives me the impression he's probably going to live, but that's not my point. My point is that that doesn't intrinsically mean that he's going to live. The Daidoji shouldn't even have power at this point. Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of bewildered at the Daidoji with Infinite Wealth so far. Because for how significant and powerful they felt in Gaiden, they feel so background. in Infinite Wealth. Like, they feel like they're just kind of... It feels like they were written in Infinite Wealth and then they did Gaiden, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like Gaiden was written after they wrote Infinite Wealth, because they just feel so inconsequential in comparison. Yeah, I haven't got through it all yet, but it just feels like they're just kind of around. Okay, yeah, this is going to be hard with this card. I'm going to stick with it and try and do it, but this is going to be a hard party to try and do this with, especially if we're going to get party members getting critted. Get up, you little bitch. Those major annoys me. Fair enough. I don't know if any of you have a group heal. Okay, you're guarding and the other's doing a range, that's fine. So I can just target you. Mid-D in the moment you can beat the story, so I can whine and complain about Daijoji. Alright. I need you to just heal people for now. Oh no, not 500, that's way too low. But at least for me so far, it does feel like the stuff with Infinite Wealth was written first and Gaiden later, which is why they feel so insignificant here, when in my mind I'm like, no, these guys should be significant, or more significant, you know? Considering how, like, impactful they were. Let's go with Genshin. Oh, fair enough. I'm still trying to grind artifacts with Arlecchino. I'm only missing one piece, and it's being really annoying. I need a goblet with pyro damage boost with good substats, and the only one I've got has got awful fucking substats. It's HP and defense across the board, and I'm like, great, thanks, cool. Give me literally anything else. So I'm still working on hers. Not a good way. Oh, fair enough. Like I said, I know I'm nearish the end. Like I said, I'll probably get it all done on Thursday. And for the most part, I do enjoy it. I don't know if I prefer it over Like a Dragon. Like, in terms of, like, shit you can do, I prefer it over Like a Dragon. But at the same time, like, the story so far, although it's good and enjoyable, I have more problems with it than I did Like a Dragon. At least so far, because obviously I'll save my thoughts when I finish it, but at least so far, everything I've played on it, like, I enjoy things about it, but it's just little things here and there that I'm kind of like, on. I'm just going to Fiber to try and interrupt this. Not Fiber. Voltage, I meant. Are we close enough to the counter? Oh, the enemy fell over. Oh, whoops, never mind. What are you doing? Oh, your ult. Oh, hey. Interrupt that bitch now. Also, I haven't finished the story yet, so who knows how my opinion will change. The quality of life to Infinite Wealth is amazing. Being able to literally just fucking move when you're in combat, it's like, yes, thank you, Jesus Christ. Being able to just move, in combat, it's just like, oh, like freely, it's just, oh, thank God. It's such a convenience. And the second dissolution is kind of like, wait, what? There has to be a second one? That's like the other thing. Like, I kind of get it, because obviously it's only the Tojo clan and Omi Alliance that, like, dissolved. So, of course, like, other factions haven't yet. But, oh. Ooh. They haven't yet, so I'm kind of like, ugh, but still. Oh, actually, we have enough time to get everyone ready to guard that, I think. If I do, like, there? Yeah. Okay, I think we can just barely get a guard in time for that. For these three, to make sure they stay alive. Oh, I can actually no. I want that guard to happen, so I am going to Soul Surge. I want that guard to happen, so I can try and bounce him off. Like that. So then everyone can dive in now. That said ranged, I think. I think it said ranged. Let me try. Oh, we got interrupted anyway, doesn't matter. Who's the shortest Castanos and King Desiree? I mean, we'll find out in the new story quest, maybe, because there's someone else that's going to challenge him for, like, the title or whatever. Like, I haven't done Sumeru's story in a while, so I can't remember what title Sino has. Like the head of, like, the Martra or whatever it was. But Cephos is showing up to challenge him on it for one reason or another. The new character. Who is going to be in... Cephos is then going to be in 4.7 alongside Korand and Sijuin. You're going to guard in a second, right? A little later. There we go. And I think the reason, and this is entirely what we know for because of like map knowledge and whatnot, but I think this is why they're doing it. The reason why we're going back to Sumeru is because Natlan is on the other side of the desert. So I think like having the plot or like the side events start to go back to Sumeru is to help set us up for going towards Natlan. Which is also what's slightly worrying, because I'm just like, wait a minute, if it's on the other side of the desert, they're not going to expand the desert more, are they? No, don't put me back in the fucking into the depths, please. Oh, he's going straight for him. Okay. There we go. You know, I've managed to make this shitty team work for this enemy, so once again, like, one of my favorite things about this game is that you can go against enemies way higher level than you and kind of make it work if you have a good strategy. You just have to be careful. What are you doing? Oh, melee! If I delay this super, can I catch you? I suppose I can delay it. Ooh, literally on the last possible hit, but yes, we can. Literally the last possible hit, but it was a knife. Okay, can we kill this bitch this turn? Let's find out. this guy even doing? Yeah, I'll say he's charging up for a while, so I predict an ult. Jesus Christ. Nice. Please, Kabado, finish him. Or not. Alright, we win. Clearance field, ooh. Glowing heart. And I'm rolling the Kino Bar and rolling the hope that I get Kyushu. Well, yeah, after she, like, decided she wanted to be a part of the family twice on my stream, bruh. Like, yeah, thanks. If I had won every 50-50, I would be on, like, C4 with Arlecchino right now. And, like, that fact just sits in the back of my head, like, yeah, thanks, fucking... God damn it. Because in an ideal world, I'd love to get her a C6. Because C6, when you see any clips online of when Arlecchino nukes enemies to death with their ult, that's her C6. Because her ult does 900% of her Bond of Life damage. So if you max out your Bond of Life, then immediately ult, you're doing like maximum Bond of Life damage times 900%. Well, so about times 9. So of course, yeah, it ends things. When doing it at my current level is doing like about a quarter of some major boss's health, I'm like, yeah, I can see how doing 9 times this would just insta-kill things. So yeah, I'd love to get the C6. I mean, I'm happy with the C1 and C2, because C1 is resistance with physical attacks, so when you're doing her attack string, she can't be interrupted out of them. And C2 is what makes it so when you do her attack string, when you first get the, like, pay the debt and get the bond in, she does that extra blast of damage, which is what ends enemies so quickly in her combos. I can't remember what a C4 is off the top of my head. So I'm just checking every last corner before we go back. And I'll save as well. Okay, we're just gonna attack you then. Do I have something that's ranged? Yes, I do. Love tap. Oh, it was too late anyway, but oh well. Oh, whoops. Take SP regen. Oh ho, I'm glad I came back. Arrogance. Ooh. Just straight up a new weapon. Oh, I actually need it the most. Funny. And this is... Oh, just an item, okay. Oh, what? Hey, chatty nurse, get out of here. There we go. That should be enough. I put on auto just so it wouldn't interrupt me if another character's turn came around before that attack hit. Right, I'm gonna save because we haven't saved in a hot minute. Proceed on. Ooh, how do we get up there? Hang on. Found it, never mind. Never say die. Oh god. Defense. 450, okay. She needs it the most. Want to do something funny? Go on. Nico, what are you doing here on your own? Was you having a moment? Let's open this. Do you think it'll work? Mission accomplished. Nice one. Heh. You know, it feels good to be appreciated. Now praise me more. Well done, Miss Key. We're very proud of you. Let's proceed. Our destination is just ahead. A lot of artifacts and weapons necessary for my main forwards level for the Spiral Abyss for other characters. Oh, well, that's just something you learn as time goes on. You just learn what artifacts work better for others. And here's the control room. Oh, the only other thing I could really say, when you're building characters and getting your artifacts, if you get a straight artifact that doesn't suit your character, but when like you look at it, you're like, actually, it might not suit this character, but it is pretty good, don't get rid of it. Keep hold of it, because there might be a point later on where there's a different character and it can be the off-piece. Like, even if it's not a part of that set, because you only need 4 of a set to get all the bonuses, it could be the one off-piece for a character later on. So, like, if there's like if you get an artifact piece, like, have that little forward thinking of just keep a hold of that artifact just in case. For example, the sword recommended for signature that I have was on Jean, and the artifact for Lumine was on Jean, so all of them. I just switched around. Oh, fair enough. It's been trouble. Unlock the door to the VIP ward key if you'll lend a hand. Leave it to me. Alrighty, I'll go see what I can do to help too. Same here. My, but they're all so reliable. Well, I guess that means we're stuck cheering from the sidelines. Don't sweat it. In times like this, you gotta leave things to the experts. I just feel as useless and ineffective as you, Nico, but the spirit of support is just as important. Now cheer with me. Yeah. Oh, you're right, Slaughter. Okay, give me a G. Give me an O. Give me a H. Give me another O. Give me an M. Give me an E. What I would like you to give me is a moment of peace and quiet. Oh, whoops, sorry. Hooey. There we are. All of the locks have been disengaged as far as we can tell. The prodigy strikes again. What would we do without you? The elevator should take us to short ways from the VIP ward. Crucial sword not only has energy recharge into the signature, but also has a chance of ending a cooldown. Oh yeah, fair. Me and Gin were watching surveillance footage from here. Marie was carried up to the 5th floor. And you've all made the Go Home Club proud. Cyber Division, keep up the good work. We needed it, and Sing Child did, yeah. Ma'am, yes ma'am. I expect to see a lot more out of you from now on, not Cyber Division. Whatever you say, dearie. I'll try to pull my weight. So... Oh, we can go back down as well. Because that's the ground floor we know of. Alright, let's go up to floor 5. Oh, this is where we started. Oh, I was gonna say, hang on a minute, how do we explore that map? No, we started in that bottom bit. Please be safe, Mari. We can only pray she's still holding out hope. He didn't kill her, did he? It almost happened to you guys, didn't it? Oh, yeah, I guess he did. We got bailed out on that one, though. What did the musicians plan on doing with us anyway? At best, wipe our memories and re-hypnotize us. At worst, well, they'll dispose of us, I imagine. Those villains! Time to storm the castle and save our princess, then. Let's do it. You know, again, I'm impressed you can just rattle off lines like that without a second thought. Yeah, I've been thinking the same. Sounds like we've got a sleeper playboy on our hands. Stop. I won't say him anymore, okay? Jeez. Oh, I probably could have range countered that. Oh well. This guy's super dead. Sorry, one second. Just putting my phone on charge because it's starting to get low. There we go. Dang it. I want to try and get this hospital done and Marie back before we finish this stream today. But I don't know how long this dungeon is going to be, so we'll see how it goes. Because the school dungeon we did ended up proving itself to actually be pretty damn long in the grand scheme. Or if not, just have the whole party back. Have Marie back in the party so we've got the whole gang together. So if I decide to do any grinding off screen, I can without fear of someone falling behind. Oh, I can't turn in your quest yet. Have you got a quest for me? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, fine. Fuck you then. Do you have a quest for me? You do. Can I turn it in? I can! Hey, do you have a quest for me? Nope. Hey, do you have a quest for me? Nope. Alright, fuck you both. Ready at will. It's a Saro exclusive. Enhances a penny saved. Oh, interesting. How does it work then, if it's when it's buffed? Because of respective trigger skill. Oh, so upgrades deep breath and gets that deep breath plus, which also heals allies. Oh, okay. Because the way it worked before is that you do an attack and then heal off of it. So now she shares the healing. You got a quest for me? No? Alright. These guys will be thinking so weird. It's like, hey, have you got something for me to do? What are you doing here, kid? No? Okay, bye. And you just leave. We picked up Glory Days. Beautiful memory. Hey, have you got a quest for me? You do. Oh, your major story quest. Oh, you're not a like story, but you're a group quest. You're one of the ones that has like parts to it. Oh, and you're just like tucked in this corner. Oh, great. What am I doing wrong? It's not like I'm not trying. Would you mind if I asked you for advice on something? Go for it.
Thanks. But here's the thing, it's about my co-workers. It feels like my superiors are tougher on me compared to most other nurses my age. Almost like they have it out for me or something. Especially when it comes to Nurse Tanada. I know I can make mistakes, but I'm doing the best I can. Do they hate me? Are they just sick of cleaning up my messes? Whatever it is, I'd appreciate if you could find out from Nurse Tanada and them directly. They should be in the nurse's station right about now, so it puts me on the spot like this, thanks. From nurse to work. Have deep scan. I don't think I have deep scan. And speak to Kahu Tanada. I mean, I can check, but I'm pretty sure I don't have deep scan. Beautiful memory, pep talk, detainment, cool head, revolution, guerrilla journalism, solidarity, pacification, divine grace, glove slaps, scandal, snoop, tabulation, competence, vitality, wingman, divine grace, girl talk, manhunt, intermediate gear shift, phantom inquisition, feign ignorance, sun fleckled, persuasion, marks, salesmanship, interjection, phone jazz, perp walk, extradition, busy. Yeah, no, we don't, because all the rest we've had for ages. All right, well that's another like group quest line to try and figure out at some point. Oh, your security. I nearly ran straight into him, and then I saw the light in front of him telling me that he has like a vision cone. What are they guarding? Okay, they're reasonably level. We can fight these guys. I was worried it could be like another like level 58. Well, no one touched any of those mines, thank God. I was expecting I was expecting it. Fuck, so I jumped on the bomb. There's one. This one's gonna call for backup, but that's fine because we're here. Are you dead? Oh, he's still alive. Wow. I don't know, if I was pummeled to death with a giant ball and chain like that, I think I'd be pretty not getting up again. Okay, the friendship ranks are starting to get there. Downward spiral. Okay, so oh, it's more of an evasion boost, okay. Oh, I gotta wait for these security guards to move out the way, ain't I? Go, 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 go!
And we'll take this save point, and then we will presumably go fight the boss. And try and save Marie. Oh gee, this is like in a boss arena, alright.
Whoa, look at this place.
It feels drastically different than anywhere else we've been.
Who is it?
Whoa, major cutie alert. Gabato, for 1 minute, can you just stop?
Are you crazy? Are you gonna go babe watching in the middle of enemy territory?
The babe's the babe. And who is she? And where we are? Does it mean Jack? What'd you expect from him? I'm with you there, bro. A wheelchair and redo? No, I'll keep it focused. A wheelchair and redo?
Now you mention it, you're right. This is kinda weird.
Maria?
What, you know her, Sota?
For real? Damn, Soda's got game. Could you two please stop calling me that?
Hello there, Shota.
Well, Sota, you can introduce us as a what? Ugh. This is Maria Itaguchi. She's a classmate of ours. Maria, these are,
Are they your friends, Shota?
Yeah, well, something like that. Is everything you do?
I never noticed you had such an adorable girl in your class, Shota.
Yeah, it's weird. I could have sworn I scoped out every girl in our year worth looking at forward and back.
Forget that. What are you doing here? This is the hospital I've been admitted to.
Admitted to? That's right. She has a weak constitution. It's been some time since she last attended class. Oh yeah, I guess that explains why I don't know her. Her voice is heavenly.
How long has that been, by the way? How long? How long have you been a patient at this hospital? Always.
So kind of assuming. Okay, Blanc, I had no idea. Huh? What do you mean, always? How's that even possible? How, well,
Did you forget already, Slowtie? This is redo.
It's almost as if you want to be hospitalized forever. She wants to be hospitalized?
Hey guys, we can talk about that later.
Puppet heads. What gives, Virtua Doll? Couldn't be asked to notice them sooner?
There's something off about this hospital. It's so unstable, my senses are dulled.
Maria, get back, it isn't safe. Oh, that's a quick fucking enemy. We hadn't even finished doing like our start routine and someone tried to bonk us. Oh, he gets interrupted, okay. Yeah, that one's quick. I don't think this will count, it's too late now. Oh, it will count, bloody hell. It's been yeah, a softly spoken lady. You get it. In before, it's like she's like one of the villains again. Uh-oh. Yep. I was like, uh-oh, I can't really do anything about that. I was saying even. I mean, she probably is. Oh, you're doing melee, huh? Okay, let's super delay this. We know, like, Doktor was, like, aiding her when we, like, first saw her a couple of streams ago. But that doesn't intrinsically mean she's working for them. It could just be that Doktor took pity. Or it's serving what he wants, which is, you know, to help people. Hence why he became a doctor when he got here. I don't think Japanese so dang evil. I don't know, dude. I guess it's just too close to be associated with mad scientists. So they always just go down that road. Jesus. Yeah, the enemy's dead. He's got fucking bonked. Boy. These puppet heads just keep getting stronger and stronger. What are you talking about, Nico? There's nothing. Easy peasy. Wouldn't want to look like a wuss in front of us girls, would we? More importantly, are you alright, Maria? Me? I'm okay. Listen, everyone. Why don't we make a temporary retreat for now? It's too risky to fight while protecting Maria. Shoda, there's no need for... There's no need for that. It's you. You're the doctor who examined us. You mean he's the one who tried to kill you in the press? That's him, alright. No, it can't be. You're an obligato musician, Doktor, I presume. Please, wait. This man is Maria's primary physician. Yeah, he's my caretaker. He's always has been. Ever since before I came here. A doctor and a patient. Now I get it. You're exactly what your musician name says you are. Cranky. Maria's a musician? Are you kidding me? The hell's that virtual doll look for in a musician? Hotness? Kabado, shut up. You think so? Does that mean Kuriko's next in line? Hard pass. Also, Nico being turbo gay again. What do they look for in a musician? Being super attractive? And Nico immediately? Does that mean they're going to take Kuriko? Alright, Nico, I hear you. Your gay is showing again. You keep doing it. So even in a virtual world, you're playing Doctor. No matter a loss of words. True physician would go back to help the sick and ailing in reality rather than waste time in here. Insolent whelp. What could you possibly know? Where I place my priorities is none of your concern. You're saying that playing make-believe is more important than saving lives? So much for the Hippocratic Oath. That narrow-minded outlook is precisely why I call you a whelp. Don't presume you know the things of others' affairs. Oh, got a text. Hang on, Doktor, can you wait a second? What? You just whipped out your... Wait, what are you doing? No, it's my mother text. 1 minute. Right, there we go. What kind of self-respecting doctor values anything more than human lives? I struggle to comprehend it. Wait. This has to be a mistake. How could Maria be a musician? Surprised? Maria, why? I don't know what regret is after. But I don't care either. What I care about is that the doctor says you're in his way. Oh, I'm sensing some attachment issues to your doctor here. What's going on?
She just plucked her way out.
It's quite enough, Maria. Return to your room.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, hang on. I'm paranoid over this, but uh-oh. Maria! Now, let us begin the operation. Observe as I exorcise the cancerous go-home club from the world of redo. Boss time. I'm gonna get to hear the boss remix of this theme. Such a cool voice here. Whoa, what the fuck's this boss thing doing? It's going places. What's this gimmick? Oh, okay, he summons extras. This is power. 48%. Fucking, I hate Kabado so much. Fine, use your unavoidable. As soon as his friendship's maxed out, he's never coming back on the party. I hope you understand that, Kabado. He's like, what? As soon as you're rank 9, you're exiled. What? What? Hang on. Renaming quality somehow. But I mean, we don't know the full story of what's going on at the end there. It just seems hella fucking sus. To be fair. So we'll at least see where it goes. But so far, it does seem hella fucking suspicious. Like, hey, why did you two come here together and, like, your wish is to be the permanent doctor for one of them and the other be the permanent patient of the other? What? You know, like, You mean Doktor, yeah. Like, what's the purpose of both of them doing what they're doing? Both doctor and patient. Oh, you're talking about Kabado? Well, yeah, Kabado is Kabado. I don't think anyone really cares about Kabado. He's such a little shit. Oh, let's do your buff. You really shouldn't. Ooh, that is ranged, and that comes out lightning fucking fast. I don't think I have a ranged counter on you. Just guard then. That's a ranged attack, and it comes out lightning fast. The reason why I'm not killing the other enemy is because I think if I kill both of the extras, he'll summon more. So if I can just keep it at 1 and just keep them away, I can just chip away at Doktor. At this point, yeah, because everything is just... This guy is just permanently like, I need women! It's just like, no, Kabado, you know. So, text, there we go. It's become annoying, yeah. Oh, why are you targeting? No, target Doktor. I'm glad I checked. We might be able to finish him here, which is why I'm trying to push. Oh, come on, he's so close. Hey, Kabado, don't be useless. Hit this. Thank you. Good strat, by the way. It worked. I think if I'd killed the other extra, he would have summoned more, so just keeping it down to 1. Mystic Veil. Oh, these guys' friendship ranks are still so far behind. Sorry, finding messages still. Hey, nice 1,000 points. Come the closer. Someone had to, I guess. Ugh. Get wrecked! How'd you like that, you damn quack? Infinite little pests. We should have culled you when you were at your weakest. Another victory for the Go Home Club. We're going to be doing the questioning this time around, Doktor. First question. Did you release that disease into the academy to smoke us out, yes or no? Yes, that's right. What of it? A man of medicine staging a pandemic among an intermediately large group of civilians? You're beyond sanity. Listen to yourself, don't you see? No sane man can stay righteous in a world such as this. You give scum a bad name. So Doktor did spread the disease. That checks out with what Regret said. Was she telling the truth? I get the feeling she was. But why would the head honcho of the bad guys help us? Well, that aside, what exactly is going on here? Ugh. Hey, Dr. Dipshit. Alright. Dr. Dipshit. Alright. Who said you could leave? Gonna allow Redo to be destroyed. You already lost, pal. Save the sleep talk when you're asleep. I still have an ace up my sleeve. Losing the battle means nothing when the war's already decided. And what do you mean by that? Whoa! What's going on here? An earthquake? No. Not with this rumbling, isn't it? What in the world? Hang on. You're not the one doing this? Then who and how? Can't be. Oh, we're gonna find it. Hey, get back here, Dr. Dipshit! Is this gonna be us finding out Marie's real self is the grenade-throwing, explosive expert psychopath that we know as Wicked after him? Oh, no, never mind. She's still asleep. She's fast asleep. There shouldn't be any need to keep watch over her. But if it's what the doctor wants, I'll do it. Once he sees how helpful I am, he's sure to be proud of me. Please, Dr. Guji, hurry back soon. You woke up? But how? I asked for the strongest sleep medicine they had. Who are you? Me? I'm a musician. A musician? Wait, a musician? Yeah, your enemy. I captured you. The doctor was very proud of me. He told me I did a good job. Wait, hold on. Where am I exactly? This is a hospital. Hospital? But what am I doing here? Did you forget? Or are you sleepy from the medicine? Hospital. Examination room. No. No. Did you say something? I think she's starting to remember shit. I think the hospital starts giving her memories she doesn't want. No! What's happening? Her wants to full school instead. Doktor spotted! He's over there! What is this? What's happened here? I am sorry. Not really sure. It just became this way all of a sudden. It's actually the room where we put that student to sleep earlier. So this is the Singularity Point's doing.
Singularity point? Sounds familiar. Isn't that what that bluff man mentioned before? There's one more thing, Doctor. I apologize, but I think Maria might be inside the room as well.
What?
Maria!
Maria! Yeah, this is Marie. This is Marie's doing. He's trying to get to Maria. He's trying to get to the little lady in the wheelchair. This is Wicked waking up. Ah, the hell with that stuff.
It's like a black stain. I expect it's starting to spread. Ew, gross. Whatever it is, I have an awful feeling about it. Ah, someone help! We should make our exit as well. No kidding, this is getting to be one sticky situation.
But what about Marie? She's still inside that room. That's right, we still need to save her.
Let's fall back. It's too dangerous to stay here any longer.
What, and leave Marie?
Picking up two biological signals in there. One's Marie, the other's probably the musician in the wheelchair. That black stain. It's blocking out its surroundings to protect the room. Touch it, and I'm pretty sure you'll die.
Protecting it, huh? Uh-oh. Sorry, my internet's dipping on my end, so I was just panicking slightly. I was just making sure we're still here, because I don't want it to drop and it's important. This room's interior will be safe. In that case, we should make a temporary retreat. And you're coming with us, Doktor. That's why I have much left to ask you. Surely you jest. You expect me to leave Maria behind and flee?
What are you saying? You have to run away too, Doctor.
Sasara.
I know you're worried about her, but you can't save her without saving yourself first, okay?
No, that's not it. I'm...
Doctor?
He dead or what? Only fainted. He must have been keeping himself up through sheer willpower alone.
Alright, pick him up so we can get the heck out of here already.
Oh, Marie, we gotta wait a little longer to get to you. Trophy unlocked. The greater good. Complete chapter 5. Oh, chapter 6 is the chapter where our ending is decided. So I've known this for a while. Chapter 6 is when our ending gets decided, so we gotta be a little careful. It isn't often you call... It isn't often you call for an audience with me, Kudan. Fortunately enough, I never had any need to. Till now, that is. I see. Very well, then. What is it you wished to discuss?
Something curious is going on over at the hospital.
Curious how?
I have no idea. That's the problem. The surveillance cams are giving us nothing, and I can't get in contact with Doktor. I sent a number of my underlings in as well, but no dice. It's almost as if the hospital itself is repelling outside access.
Could this be the work of the Go Home Club? No, it can't be. That virtual door doesn't possess this level of power. Right you are. I checked the hospital's visual data history just now. Evidence suggests it's been tampered with, but there's no possible way the Go Home Club could have accessed it. That is correct. Other than Doktor, the only ones who have access privileges to the hospital's data are the two of us.
Whoa, now, make no mistake. I've got nothing to do with this. Based on your reaction, I take it you don't either.
Everything regarding the hospital I have entrusted to Doktor. I have no part in this.
Which leaves only one other possibility.
Kudan is so hot. I'm sorry, tomboys are cute. I can't help it. I'm just keeping an eye on my internet because it's still buffering on... Well, it's not buffering. More like, it's doing the thing when it starts flashing. Which makes me slightly paranoid that it's going to disconnect. There is no one in Redo capable of doing such a thing without our knowing.
Well, you know what they say. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Preach, my brother. I mean, come on. Look at that, like, artwork in the corner. Like, she's got, like, the jacket suit on, but she's got, like, the scarf bit. She's got, like, the short, like, scruffy red hair. She's got the earpieces, she's got the, like, a mole under her eye. Like, come on, she's just hot. There's no two ways around it. Kudan, you were one of Rido's most distinguished benefactors. Even so, I suggest that you mind your words. But no matter how you spin it, there's only one person here who could pull this off, and I'd wager you know exactly who. A ridiculous proposition. Regret is our goddess. It is by her hand that Rido is governed. She labors each and every day to shape the ideal world of ours. What reason does she have to do such a thing? I cannot abide by these aspirations, not even from you, Kudan. Fair enough. Regret does not make the gain from doing something like this. The hospital falls under Doktor's jurisdiction. Cranky will be there to aid him as well. The man is fearful of reality. He will defend Rido with his very life, no matter what it is that transpires there. Yeah, Wicked's in there. That's probably what's causing everything. So you want me to just leave them be, then? Understood. I'll let the good doctor handle his own. Very good. Should he require assistance, you may lend it. The common link between all faiths is their rejection of unbelief. I couldn't have put it better myself. Some alpha musician, blind faith at its best. Still, I suppose our group's flag bearer should do no less. Now then, I think it's time I started putting my own measures into play. Hey, fucking Marketer, you're still around to see. I see. Oh, not you as well.
What's that bucket of bolts up to? No, more importantly, why wasn't I invited to that meeting? They can't just phase me out like this. I still have so much to give, so much left to prove. Bluff, man.
You know, these musicians don't seem as unified as they probably should be. Oh god! This fuzzy black barrier wasn't always here, was it? It feels as though a ghost might pop out at any moment. Anything but ghosts. Well, hospitals are a pretty common hotspot for hauntings. Can we stop talking about this? Like, we can be like, can we stop talking about fucking ghosts? Does Rido even have ghosts? No idea, but if they are, I ain't afraid of them. Can't be scarier than reality. You think this black haze made the hospital like this? Likely so. Whatever it is, it's transformed the entire place. But Maria's still inside, isn't she? We need to go save her. Be that as it may, we won't be able to get any further from this. From the looks of it. Hey, Key, how's the good dog holding up? He hasn't woken up yet. Let's just let him nap in the train for now. We can ask Doktor for help when he wakes up. But will he talk? We'll get it out of him one way or another. The lack of information on our end is enormous, suffice it to say. As it stands, we're in no position to rescue Marie, but that so-called physician seems to have an idea on what's going on. So we yank him back, strap him to a chair, get the electric, cow zapper, and torture him until he speaks. Always let him lay down in the sofa. Still no conscious. He hasn't changed a bit, and it's been a while since we carried him. The cattle prod, that's what I was thinking of. I do hope he's alright. Perhaps we should have someone take a look at him. We need a doctor, one that treats other doctors. How would we even find them? We all saw what happened to the hospital. I imagine our battle has greatly exhausted him. He should wake up, given enough time. Let's just force him up. He'll be up any second now. On what basis exactly? But look on your face, I don't take it you don't have one. Hey, now no need for that. Perez's got killer intuition for things like this. Heartwarming as your optimistically unfounded projections are, we don't exactly have time to spare right now. You're right, and we have to rescue Marie, and soon. Oh, look, everyone! Let's turn around and glare at the kid, like, what was that? Whoa. Thank goodness you woke up, Doctor. You're the Go Home Club. You got that right. This is the Go Home Club's headquarters, and you're a prisoner. Is this a train? So you are hiding in a liminal space. No wonder I failed to find you. The train is under Key's domain. Once it begins running, none can disembark until she allows it. I advise you not to try. What does that matter to me? You want to save that girl, don't you? Cranky or some such? Is it really in your best interest to loiter here? Whoa, you're getting a little super villainy there. You made your point. What is it you want from me? And that makes things easier. First, we have a few things we'd like to ask you about. There are 8 musicians in all, right? Yay or nay? Yes, that's correct. Hey, let's see. There's Pandora, Mukin, Doktor, Maria's Cranky, Yamato is Cupid, which leaves Machina. And then there's Bluffman. That only makes 7. There's one more out of the woodwork whom we've yet to make contact with, a woman named Kudan. Those are indeed the 8. How are the musicians chosen? Prospective candidates are personally invited by Bluffman. Then they come to redo of their own volition. Pandora did something similar. She was in the middle of writing a song when she was invited. Then Pandora was defeated as well. She neglected to mention that fact, that little minx, but so be it. All we musicians have in common is that we are all dull peas who entered the music scene after the incident with Mew. Pandora and I just started gaining renown in reality. I presume sphere of influence is a factor, though I could not be certain. You're telling me this guy fucking sang songs in reality? He was... okay. A scientific, rational mind like yours is fed up some tall tale about a virtual world, and you accept it? Surprisingly childish, aren't we? Some fantasies are worth believing. In your own words, how would you describe the world of Redo? It is a virtual reality governed by regret. Those taken within it must bear exactly that, regret, no matter how big or small. In other words, those with second thoughts about their past are trapped here by the power of regret. Not quite. Every one of the individuals who came to regret must do so of their own free will. There are no exceptions. Free will, my ass? So what if I felt some regret? That ain't the same as consent, damn it. Kabado, settle down. Deny it all you like. To be drawn in by regret's song, it comes down to of your own volition. Each of you has had a new life prepared for you here. Free from the burdens of your past. What more proof do you need? Keep talking. Does that mean you have something you regret about your past too? I do indeed. There are no exceptions. Tell us about regret. She is a virtue doll. She wields the power of those who idolize her as though it was her own. No, for one show to let Kabado cook, yeah. We already know that much. I can tell you nothing more than that. Not where she was created, nor by whom. Alas, you have chosen the wrong mark. So you're serving someone you don't even actually know. I have no recollection of serving anyone. I came to Redo to advance my own agenda. Regrets is of little interest to me. That in mind, she is still marginally better than other Virtua Doll, and her pitiful excuse of a virtual space. Why you? Still, I suppose Mew deserves my gratitude, seeing as her slipshod work served as a springboard for Redo's creation. Because he's right, regret does not equal consent. Explore her theme, exactly. Take that back, you bastard! Oh, alright, Key. Key started swearing. Mum's the best damn virtual doll you'll ever find in this entire universe. Key, I get how you're feeling. You need to calm down. I'm gonna get you for this. What do you know about Mum? Shut up! The virtual doll's a little damn playhouse of shit. None of you could give less of a crap about human lives. Oh my god, we get it alright. Now knock it off, both of you. Krieger's like, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna slap both of you in a minute. Doktor, what exactly was that disease? A viral contagion I created to lure you to the hospital. It was a virus? All that exists in Redo is, at its most basic level, constructed out of electronic data, the sky, the earth, even us humans. So long as you have had the ability to manipulate said data, creating a disease is hardly a challenge. So you're the one who made it then? I specified the symptoms it would cause. Bluffman was the one who actually developed it. Maria, Cranky, said she wanted to visit the school. I accompanied her as a pretense to release it. You don't mean during the school festival? I do. It saved me quite a bit of trouble, being able to openly carry about my business without drawing any suspicion. You were willing to get the whole school wrapped up in this? The ailment itself is non-lethal, curable in time if left untreated, and instantly when vaccinated. Vaccinated her, so that's why everyone felt better after visiting the hospital. It's reminiscent of the influenza you know from reality. Influenza, sorry. Bear in mind, the people of this world collectively provide regret with energy.
In other words, you wouldn't kill them without good reason.
Correct. My primary purpose was to draw you, the Go Home Club, out of hiding. I surmised that any who were aware of Ridu's true nature would question the situation sooner or later. We'd either realize an illness couldn't exist in Ridu and storm in, or contract it and come in for a checkup. You didn't mind either way. Put simply, you wished to save yourself the trouble of having to find us. That's right. But there is one thing I still can't comprehend. You two, over there.
Huh? You mean me and the president?
How are you still alive? You were as good as dead the moment I treated you. Recovery was not a possibility.
Goodness, was that right? How awful.
You don't seem too choked up about it. She is 86 years old, so she doesn't really care at this point.
Well, I don't quite recall what happened myself. When I came to, I found myself sleeping in bed. If what Doktor's saying is true, then she really wasn't really sleeping. She was dying. Spooky. As for how I was cured...
So be it. Your time will come soon enough, and the rest of you will follow. Why did you capture Marie? She is the Singularity Point.
Singularity Point? That was that thing Bluffman was talking about.
What exactly is this Singularity Point? You don't know? And yet you recruited her into your ranks. How very... unnerving. Just get to explaining already. And you better use smaller words if you know what's good for you. Don't use fancy words, because I'm not that smart. Okay, Kabato. Ridu was not made from scratch. Another world was used as its parent body. We refer to such a world as a micro-Mobius, a simpler, downscaled version of the Mobius created by Mew.
What? What are you even talking about?
Regret and Bluffman set their sights on it. The Ridu of today is a product of Regret's repeated alterations of the micro-Mobius.
What does that have to do with Marie?
The micro-Mobius utilized as Ridu's foundation was a world specifically created for Marie Amabuki.
Really?
Mobius was created for Marie. Oh, well, the micro-Mobius was, but that is interesting. Why? Is it because she was the only one who still didn't want to leave? Like, all the other characters either died or were convinced it was better to leave Mobius, even the villains, except Wicked. She just left. Is that why? Because she was the only one that refused to leave, so she was the only one that was still, like, attached to Mobius? Or, yeah, or it's there to imprison her because she's, you know, a super dangerous psychopath.
What? Mom created it for Marie, but why?
I could not say, but Bluffman did tell me this. Should the Singularity Point suffer any form of anomaly, then Ridu, which relies upon it as its core, will likely collapse.
Mind translating, Ryuto?
What he's saying is that if we want this world to disappear, we're going to have to kill Marie to do it. Oh, do you think that's going to be our, like, so this chapter 6 has a decision that affects our ending? Do you think that's what it's going to be? Deciding whether to kill Marie or spare her?
Wait. This is way too much info for my Nico noggin to process all at once.
The crux of the matter lies in what we just learned about the Singularity Point. So the Micro-Mobius was used to lay the groundwork for Ridu, and Marie was the one it was created for. Make sure to save before. Yeah, I will. We probably won't get to it this stream, because I do want to wrap up soon-ish. But, yeah, we're definitely getting there. We definitely might have to make a decision next stream. I say soon-ish, like in about 10 to 20 minutes or so. And Marie was the one who created it for. Which makes Marie this world's owner. If she dies, the rest of it disappears. Though I can't say I'm sold on that part. I have no reason to lie. With this, I've told you all I know. Now let me return to the hospital. I must go back to her as soon as possible. I beg of you.
He's telling the truth.
The lie detector confirms it.
I can tell, even without it. You can see it in his eyes.
Ooh, No, I think he genuinely just wants to help Crunk, or Crunky, or however you pronounce her name. I'm going to choose to trust him. I had a feeling you would. Whatever the case, if what he says is true, then we're going to have a major decision to make ahead of us. What decision's that? Whether or not to kill Marie in order to return back to reality.
What?
What are you saying? Us? Kill Mari? That's a joke. No one's laughing, Pipsqueak. Ryuto, how could you even suggest such a thing?
I won't allow it. That's a big, big no-no.
Let me ask you then. What is the goal of the Go Home Club?
To return to the real world.
Correct. And removing the singularity point is the lowest risk option we currently have available to us. At the very least, it's a sounder method than trying to best regret in combat. That much we know for certain. We have no means of defeating her. No matter how many musicians we beat, the fact is we can't hope to measure up to a world creator. Logically speaking, the only move we can make is
Ryuto! That's enough! I don't want to hear another word of this.
And neither do I. I'm not saying any of this because I want to. You can argue amongst yourselves later. Now stop this train and release me. Hey, Doctor, what is your regret? Why did you care to ask me something like that? Our friend's life is on the line here. We can't trust you if we don't know a thing about you. Very well. In the real world, I am also a doctor, as well as Maria, Krunky's primary physician. Our story is a common one. I failed her operation, and as a result, she lost the ability to walk.
How awful.
Wait, how's that make sense? If that's your regret, shouldn't she still be able to walk just fine here in Redo?
Oh, good point.
Sounds like the good doc here can't keep his story straight. Care to explain? I want to know that more than anyone else. I became a musician on the condition that her leg would heal, so why haven't they?
No way, what's the deal there?
I asked Bluffman as well, but he had no answer. The cause is yet unknown. However... Oh, well, it's better now I imagined it. Yeah, we was like dreading the worst between us. Redo is still incomplete. Were regrets power to grow, a new avenue may present itself, or so I've come to understand. That would explain why you've been working so hard on Bluffman and Regret's behalf. I know full well that it was too much to ask, escaping to a virtual reality, pretending as if nothing ever happened. My misdeeds could never be undone. With these hands, I robbed a girl of the life she could ever have. That fact will remain forever. Whether I go to hell is of no consequence. So long as she can walk again, I don't care if it's in reality or in a dream. So that's your regret. That's pretty heavy. I haven't had a single night's rest since arriving in Redo. The mere sight of her legs, paralyzed and still. It haunts me. I understand. I understand that pain all too well. That is absurd. Those with the ability to serve the greater good are obligated to do so. It's not in a doctor's place to fixate over one patient. As long as people are involved, it's practically impossible to eliminate the possibility of human error. Mistakes must be taken for what they are, lessons to be learned from. A doleful, mouldering physician is no better than a dunce. Know your place. The only dunce here is you. I beg your pardon. You say human error is unavoidable, and yet you see them as nothing more than points of pure data. You are nothing but a vainglorious brat, one who speaks of theories as irrefutable truths out of callow ignorance. Doctor or not, at the end of the day, we are all human. We are not built to bear the burden of so many lives. No one is, no matter how brilliant they may be. What I value is mine to decide. To me, Maria's legs are more important than any number of lives I could have saved. How could you say that? Doctor, what's wrong? Stay with us. You're not looking too good. Do your best to be lamed down for the time being. Yeah, that man was cooking. I'm with Doktor on this. He's a human fucking being. Doesn't matter what their job is and what their purpose is. Everyone's still human. You're gonna be affected by things. You're gonna wish you could do more. And errors aren't just things that are statistic for a box to tick off. If you were, I'd argue you're not fit to be a doctor, because then you don't have humanity. It's part of it. Of course you care. Every single patient you serve, you care for, because it's just the nature of the beast. And now off to sleep he goes.
So what do we do now?
Let's move over to the next car for now. We still have that matter about Marie to discuss. Ryutsu, what you said earlier about Marie, it was all just a joke, right? On the contrary, I couldn't have been more serious.
Well, I, for one, am absolutely against it.
Regret could kill us on a single whim. She gave us this life. She can just easily take it away, and that's a fact. As it stands, we have no means of opposing her. Surely you realize that. But still, we can't just...
Ryuto has a point.
Distorts information to a certain point where you lose the basic cognitive rationale. Survivor's guilt is an awful thing. Yeah, I get that.
Ryuto has a point. Key. Don't say that, please. I don't like it any more than you, but right now we don't have much hope of beating Regret. But we can't say that for sure. We managed to defeat all the musicians we've faced so far, right?
That's right. We won't know until we actually try fighting her.
We already have. She showed up in our hospital room before Sasara woke up.
What?
But she was so strong, more than any of us can even imagine. I hate to admit it, but we're just no match for her.
What happened to you, Key? You're the one always talking about how we're going to defeat Regret.
That's right, because of us, we're only here because of you.
You fought her too, didn't you, Press? What's your take on it? I'm gonna say we couldn't defeat her alone.
So then maybe we can win it with an 8-1! Oof, guessing that look on your face means no, huh?
But why would Regret engage you directly? She wanted us to join her.
You mean to serve her the same way the musicians do?
That's why she showed off her power to Key in the press, to prove a point.
Hey, Key, why did Mew even create that Michael Mobius thing? Oh, Nico, you precious little thing. For Marie.
I don't know.
I've never heard about anything like that from Mum.
I knew the good doc was trying to pull one over us. But we do have evidence Marie is special in some way. She's the only person in the Go Home Club that hasn't had any dreams.
Whoa, really?
Yep, really. And even then, she was able to see Key from the very start. Mari's not the same as the rest of us, at least. We can say that much for sure. Is it specifically this? Is it because this world was specifically created for her?
Maybe that Mum put a safeguard on Marie to keep her from remembering the real world, even after awaking through the catharsis effect. Her reality must have been truly painful for Mew to go that far.
If Kabado's experiences in Mobius are any indication, we only have so much time left. We need to make a decision. It's our only hope of returning to reality. Wait, y'all, yeah. I mean, my theory is save Marie, keep her going, let her remember, and then use all that power that is wicked against Regret instead. Oh, that's also a good theory. The devil can learn Regret. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for today. I doubt we'll manage to resolve anything by discussing further.
Sorry for us to leave the Doctor on the train?
I can keep watch over him, which means I'll be staying the night, I suppose.
The hell did you do with Slota? As if you'd ever volunteer to do something like that. We have much to consider regarding Marie, not to mention Maria, or Cranky, rather. This will give me plenty of time to think. I'll stop by to bring some food and drinks later tonight then.
No need to worry, if anything happens in there, I'll be the first to know.
Man, this is one hell of a day. Let's all talk this over again after a good night's sleep. Never can forget his name, never can regret, yeah. I actually think it's super cool that they've had this whole plot revolve around an interesting but kind of thrown away villain from the first game. You know, let's put our currents in until we get these guys all leveled up more. Oh, Key, accuracy, defense, accuracy, attack. And give me suicide prototype. I want the... God, how much money have we had? Look at that, 108,000 gil yen.
So, what now? I'm chuck out of ideas. What's your call, Prez?
My call is that I'm going to make sure I save on a separate file at the end of this stream.
Well, we could call it a day and get some sleep.
Because I don't know if it'll be a decision you have to make on the train, or if it's a decision you have to make when you get to Marie. You know? So when I go to wrap up, which will be soonish, by the way. I'm gonna, like, yeah, it's been about 10ish minutes since I said I was going to. I just want to kind of, like, check around the neighborhood, see if there's any quests I can pick up. Oh, is there any quests? We can turn in some quests, actually, can't we? What button am I looking for? Causality link. Yeah, we can turn Ryusuke's quest in. Let's do that. I'll make that the last thing I do. And then tomorrow we can try and figure out what ending we're going for. I'm going to assume... Well, I can assume... trying to keep Marie alive and it be like have the devil on our side to feel regret is the correct path to get the good ending. And just choosing to take the safe option and kill her is the incorrect and like bad ending. Because if we just kill her, also the story would end in chapter 6, I think. You know? I think if we killed her, if Doktor was speaking the true, the story would just end. Let's go turn in this. There you, Yusuke. There you are. Do you know anything from Ray? Oh, Ray is the name of my main character in my next book. So that's actually kind of fitting. My second Demon of Zenelheim book. Because Azel Pearl was the protagonist of the first one. Ray Kurumi is the protagonist of my second one. The Doctor's telling the whole truth. It's potential for Greek tragedy. Maybe. So the jerk's leader is Toyo Fujisaki. I figured as much. I know to get the platinum, I do need to do both endings. But so I'll have to do the other ending eventually, one way or another. Because you get a song for beating one ending's final boss, and you get another song for beating the other ending's final boss. And one of the trophies is have every single song that key can earn. So you have to do 2 playthroughs, regardless, to do both. You know those weird grammar Nazis you see online? Yeah. He was in the Hustlers before I joined, right? Didn't he leave because you and him kept butting heads? That's right, Bastard didn't have an ounce of respect for our code. I do recall him claiming he'd start a gang of his own of leaving the Hustlers. Guess that's where the jerks came from. Oh, yeah, you always get types like that. That's why you ignore them. As I say it, you know I always say it. If there's people causing you trouble on the social media, you just block and move on. It is never worth the energy because half the time they want the reaction. They want you to get RC and get the reaction. Just don't give it to them. Just block them and carry on. And the ones that then say, haha, you blocked me so I win, they're literally just projecting how much of a loser they are to everyone. And they're so dumb they can't see it. So just don't even think about it. Just carry on. Former member or not, it makes no difference as far as our retribution is concerned. Isn't that right, Yusuke? Yeah. We're more than just a crew, we're family. And that means we protect each other no matter what. We're settling this. Never thought I'd be squaring off against him like this again. The hustlers and the jerks are going to war. It's only a matter of time. Everyone boosts this garbage. Oh yeah, the current algorithm does. That's why you just block it harder. Or you install an extension to Twitter that auto blocks anyone who has a check mark. There's plenty of them online, and it's amazing how instantly Twitter becomes better when you use one, and you just can't see any checkmarked posts or replies. Oh, that helped. I did at first, but the only reason I've started taking it off is that Twitter is trying to force tick marks onto people above certain follow accounts. So some people that I follow, I'm like, they're going to get blocked. I need to actually turn this off. So a couple have cropped up that are like obviously new accounts since I did the sweep. But my Twitter has been a lot healthier. I still get the odd one, especially on the For You page. The For You page is a plague, no matter what you do, it feels like. But regardless, I do my best. I wouldn't be surprised if I've installed it if you've ever brought Twitter Blue, and yeah, if you've brought Twitter Blue at all in the past year, or since the takeover, yeah, you've probably been blocked. And that's you. It didn't tell you anything either, huh, rookie? Oh, the ultimate check, one man. My Twitter link is actually in the description of the video. Just click it and see if you can actually see my page. If you can't, then you know you've been got. If you can't, then you got sniped by my add-on. Oh, it's you. Didn't tell you anything either, huh, rookie? Huh? What's he going on about? Ryu managed to track down those jerks. He and the rest of the hustlers went off and hit him with a surprise raid. They wouldn't let me go, though, on account of my injuries. Can't believe I have to just sit around while everyone else is duking it out. What about you? You'll back them up, right? And I would say, I'm going to be real with you, one man. I would say if you have been blocked, I would try and find you and unblock you. But I'm going to be real. The block list is very, very fucking big, if you can believe it, now. So it would be really hard to track down your name. It would be really time consuming, and I don't think I can be bothered too much, so sorry about that. What about you? You'll back them up, right? I've got this. Hell yeah, now I can see why this was so much promise in you, rookie. So here's the thing, the jerks operate outside the city, and that's what's been started to catch them. We ran into some intel that said they've been meeting up in town today. Ryu and them are set on ending all this today. They figured this was the best shot we're going to get. Head over to them once you're ready, alright? A bit nasty. So I don't understand. That's fair. I just keep it cozy. I know what I want to do, and I just vibe. Solidarity and speak to Ryusuke. Oh, we can do that now, but I think that would be a good starting point for the next stream. So I'm going to go find a save point and then wrap it. Hey, the save point may be right next to the quest. Let's do that. I know we have Solidarity. The accessory. Oh, hey, hang on. Yuriko, I've got a quest to turn in. Actually, how many quests am I on now for the Get 100 trophy? I've done 70 total. We're actually not that far off. It's wild, because like I said, I finished Caligula 1, and I had 9 quests done total. It took forever to do 100, because you have to do them one at a time. Alright, I'll wrap... Yeah, I appreciate it for it. I'll wrap it up here. I'm also kind of hungry, which is the main reason why I want to wrap up. So we will be back tomorrow, same time, well, hopefully same time, assuming nothing happens, because I am off all this week, so I really don't have an excuse. Unless the world magically ends or my power cuts out, I should be streaming every day I plan to stream this week. Because it's not like work's going to knacker me out. But, like, yeah, tomorrow we'll be back on this, do some side questing, and make our decision on what we're going to do with Marie. I'm going to save again, actually. Wednesday, we're finally going back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Thursday and Friday, I'm taking off. Saturday will be Final Fantasy, and Sunday, we'll finish the week with some Sonic. I'm switching up my game streams a tad. Oh, fair enough. Instead of doing to LJ after Cold Steel 3, I'm doing Berseria. Oh, you keep on... Yeah, I feel like almost every other project, we end up... Like, every single time you do a full playthrough, we end up back on the topic of Berseria. And rightly so, because the game's fantastic. But at the same time, it's just like, if you're going to get to it, get to it. Because I remember you was going to at one point, but then you came away. But I digress. Best of luck with your Berseria playthrough. And getting it all done. Yeah. But, as for me, I'm going to call it here. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It genuinely really helps. It helps the channel grow. Additionally, you can find my Twitter, assuming you're not a tick marked, as we've now just discovered. Assuming you're not check marked, because you will just get auto-blocked. I've turned it off now, so if you've, like, check marked recently, you won't. But if it's, if you're an old one, you're probably not going to get access to it. But if you're normal, I'm kidding. If you're normal or don't like giving Elon money, then you're welcome. Also, you can find my Patreon and PayPal, obviously. But until next time, you guys take care now. Peace. Oh, if I wait 2 seconds.